Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me for Craft with Me journal class on Friday. It is Friday night. I hope you guys had a good week. I had a great week. Thanks so much for being with me tonight. We're going to make some pockets for our junk journal. We've been working on, this is the third video in a series, and we've been working on the Blue Beauty French journal. And so this was a journal that started out as a kit, a physical junk journal kit. And so this was the kit for February. And we have a kit for March. We sold it last week. We will talk more about that next Tuesday. But for tonight, we're going to continue working on the Blue French Beauty Journal, and we're going to work on pockets. Primarily tonight, we'll dabble in a whole bunch of other things. My mind is not in one place. So we'll start out with pockets and we'll see where we get after that. Thanks so much for joining. I see so many of you who jumped on. Thanks so much. It is a live video right now. However, if you are rewatching this after it is not live anymore, it's just a regular video. You can tell whether it's live or not on your screen because it'll tell you down at the bottom whether it's live or not. I just wanted to say that because I get a lot of questions after the video, after the live ends, like how it all works. So when a live video ends, whether it's my live sales on Tuesdays or it's the live crafting classes, Craft with Me's on Friday, all of that content stays on the channel as a regular video as soon as the live is over. So they'll be there forever. Mostly people want to rewatch the classes later. Maybe they just want to hang out. They maybe got home late. Maybe they just aren't in the crafting mood. They don't have their stuff out, whatever. You can always come back and watch the video later. Hello, Jody. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Maria C. Hello, Lisa. Hello. Karen K is here. Wendy is here. Hello. Christelle is here. Hello. Lots and lots of people are here. Hello, everyone. So we're going to give YouTube a couple of minutes to catch up. I don't know if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, but it goes to both places for Fridays. And we're working on getting it going to Instagram. However, it doesn't have a long format on Instagram. Instagram is meant for very short format things. Hello. Sid and Solja, hello. And Kathy is here and Misty is here. Hello. All right, so guys, not a whole lot of chit chat. There was a lot of questions about invoicing from the sale on Tuesday. So if you are watching and you are wondering why you didn't get an invoice from Tuesday, it's because they don't come out until Monday. I had several people frantically messaging me because they didn't get an invoice. And it doesn't matter how many times I say this information or where I say it or if I put information up on the screen. It really, at this point, just does not matter. Not everyone hears what is out there as far as instructions go. So if you're waiting for an invoice, if you're looking for an invoice, just know they will come out most likely Monday. It might come out before, it might come out a little after. Invoicing, it just depends on how many invoices I have to send and what has to happen behind the scenes to get everything sorted and pre-packed, because everything has to be packaged before it is packaged. It just takes time. And so however much time that takes is how long it takes me to get your invoice out. I do my best to have them out by Monday. However, we are in kit process right now. So I am building what seems like hundreds of journal kits. It's not, but it seems like hundreds of journal kits. So I am in the process of building those kits, getting those done. I cannot invoice or pack or ship until kits are done. So we're still in the process of doing that. And then I will most likely be here Tuesday. I don't know if we will have a live sale or if we will just hang out and work on journals. I don't know yet, but stay tuned to the channel. The best thing to do is subscribe to the channel. You can always go to the channel and see if there's a video scheduled on the channel. I always schedule them at least an hour in advance. Sometimes it's the day before, sometimes it's 3 or 4 hours before. Today I kind of forgot there wasn't just a video up there already. So today's video was scheduled like an hour and a half ago. All right, so here I'm in Arizona. The weather is beautiful. It is sunny. It is, I don't know, 70, 75 degrees. I actually have the air conditioning on because it is warm. And so my lip sync is off a little bit. Well, that could be if you go out and come back in, it should refresh and catch you all the way up to live. There is a little bit of a delay up there on the monitor, I can see. So hopefully going out and coming back in will fix it for you. I don't know if it's everybody or what. It could be on my side, but on my side, there's no going out and coming back in. There's ending a stream. That's really all we have on my side. All right, so let me see what's going on. All right. It looks like it's just a little bit of delay. Let me slide it up. Hopefully that fixes it. Sometimes it just fixes itself in a few minutes. It's just delay on my side. I don't know whether it's delay everywhere for everybody or what. I'm going to switch that down and switch it back up and see if that changes it. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to do pockets tonight, even if it's off a little bit. I know, I'm sorry. I know the weather is bad lots of places. So I get it. I don't know. It's supposed to be getting close to spring, right? So we're supposed to be out of that cold snow blizzard stuff, but I think it still happens for some people all the way into May, which is scary. Better? Okay. Okay, good. All right. Well, I don't have a lot of chit chat tonight, so you guys are going to have to fill in the chit chat. We're not going to chat for much longer, maybe 10 minutes. So what's going on out there in your guys' world? You guys have weather, I've heard, cold weather. Are you guys building the journals with me? Are you all caught up with your signature sewn in and you're ready to make the pockets and glue the pockets in tonight? That is the goal tonight. By the end of tonight, we should have at least pockets made. Whether or not I will take the time to glue them into my journal on camera with you all tonight, I don't know. Normally, I just build pockets and then we place them next time and fill pockets next time. We'll see how we go about it tonight. It's a very casual part of, so like once we get to ephemera, it's pretty casual because in the 365 series, I have already built a ton of ephemera. So I have a lot of things to stick in pockets, but I don't have as many pockets as I think I thought I had. And that's typical for me. I always think, oh yeah, I built 1 million pockets, but I don't really have that many. So we will have to make some more pockets tonight, which is good because that's what the video is for. So, but in the 365 series, I am going to do a couple more pocket videos just because I found I need them. So we'll get those videos out there. There's a mixed media project I'm trying to get in for next week. It's going to take more than 20 minutes. So it'll be a little bit longer of a video. I haven't figured out how to tackle some ideas. I see that the lip sync is a little bit off a little bit. Next month's kit, not even, I won't have anything to show you until Tuesday. I will show you next month's kit on Tuesday. But for tonight, we're working on the Blue Beauty, so everything is about the Blue Beauty, but you'll have an idea of kind of how everything works. Uh-oh. So in truth, I think if you're gonna get the same printer that I have, I would get it at Costco. Costco has exactly the same printer as the one I link in my favorites list on Amazon. It's in Amazon's favorite list, so the printer is linked there. But I will tell you truthfully, the printer that I have is exactly the same one, but it came from Costco. The reason why I like the Costco one is I believe the Costco printer goes on sale periodically for like $90 off or something. But I think the Amazon one, there's two different ones. There's a 3850 and a 2850. I think the 2850 and the 3850 have the same print resolution. So technically you probably could get the 2850 and it would print the same as the 3850. The 2850, I believe, is like 180 or 175 on Amazon. But the 3850 is like 190 on sale at Costco. So, I like getting things like that from Costco because when your printer breaks, You get to swap it out at Costco. And I had two of these printers so far. You do have to send the printer in to have the borderless printing trays replaced, and I've already done that 4 times because I print all of your guys's digitals. So we're gonna have a whole week of digital prints soon, and when I say week, I mean a week. We're going to have that very soon. However, I have found a better way of printing them. I have 3 new printers. Each one of the new printers does a very specific thing. And so while I'm not going to get into specifics of the 3 new printers, I will say that you'll be very happy with the packages of printed digitals in the near future. The exact paper that I prefer, it's the Hammermill 28-pound premium color copy paper. That I do get from Amazon. They have the best deal on it because that one is kind of, as far as like reams of paper go, it is kind of expensive. It's not super high end, but it's definitely not $5 or $8. It's like 9 maybe. I don't know. It's definitely not a $5 ream of paper. I think it is well worth it. Everyone loves that paper. Whenever I used to print the digitals and do them in live sales, because it's been like 2 or 3 months since I've done printed digital packs for you guys. I didn't know it had been that long until I was looking at, back old videos, and I didn't realize it had been 3 months since we did printed digital packs. But it has. But when I did them, they were on that Hammermill paper. Everyone loves that paper. As soon as I sold that paper to you guys all asked me what it was. I've openly shared what it is in the videos. My competitors are now printing their paper packs on that. So everyone loves this paper. It's Hammermill 28-pound paper. The fact that it is 28-pound is really important. The 32-pound, in my opinion, is too thick to use in signatures of junk journals. The 24-pound is too light. If I had to choose between 24 and 32, I would go with 24, but 28 is just that sweet spot in the middle, the perfect thickness for putting in signatures. Now, nothing is inexpensive, I know. But if you get the paper I'm talking about on Amazon, if you print a lot, I would definitely get the box of 5 reams of paper, because Amazon will sell you 1 ream. And if you just, you don't print that often or whatever, that might be okay. But the price for 1 ream is like $17. The price for the 5 packs of 5 reams of the same paper, it comes in a nice box too, right? So there's 5 individual reams of paper in the box. I think that box is like $52 for 5. So that way it's a little over $10 a ream, but buying 1 individual ream, I believe it's $17 on Amazon. Now I didn't look recently because I have a few cases of 5 things of paper out there, but the paper is awesome. Trust me, everyone will tell you who's had this paper, they love this paper. It is not matte photo paper, but it prints like matte photo paper. And in that video that I eventually will do for you guys, it's on the list of videos to make, is the printer tips and tricks and techniques video. And that one is designed for people who print digitals or print things to sell. And I can guarantee you that making the changes I will show you in that video will print your digitals just like or better than that expensive matte photo paper. I don't like the way the matte photo paper feels. It is chalky and weird, and it just, in my opinion, it doesn't print nice. Yes, your colors are vibrant, but there are other ways of getting a perfect vibrant print without that paper. I don't like that paper. Plus, most of it is only single-sided. It's only matte photo paper on single side. There are double-side ones, but I hate that one. That one's an Epson paper, and I hate it. So anyway, the paper's great. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. And that paper that I print on, all of that, though, hold on. Some was printed on a laser, and I need to remember what was printed on the laser, because in the paper, in the monthly journal kits, I always print you some things on different printers. So I know the blue vellum paper, that was printed with the laser printer. The the digital of the French fashion ladies, that was on the 28-pound hammer mill paper. And that was with the Eco Tank from Costco. The other one of the envelopes, it could have been and it probably most likely was the laser printer. Hammer Mill, HAMMERMILL. It's all one word. I can link it. Since we're talking and we have a minute, I'll just link it. If I can get my keyboard over here. I have to remember that the camera is super close. Hammer Mill. It's in my favorites list. However, it's probably easier for me just to search it, because it'll bring up my favorite one all the time when I type it in, when I first start typing it. So here's the link to the paper. Now, you don't have to buy the 5-pack. You certainly do not have to buy the 5-pack, but I'm telling you, it is the least expensive way of getting this paper. But they have different weights. So just make sure when you're getting it, if you want the 28-pound, it has to say 28-pound, because there is a 32-pound and the packaging looks identical, and there is a 24-pound and the packaging looks identical. So you need to make sure it is the 28-pound. My favorites list, I can link the favorites list, but I don't think I'm signed in to where it'll do the like Amazon Associates thing. Hold on, my lists. So I can link it for you, but it's just going to show you the things and not the, there we go. So here's the favorites list. It has everything that I could think of at a moment's notice on my Amazon. So the things I buy from Amazon. And a lot of times I just buy the same thing over and over again, but I do check the price, because on Amazon, sometimes they'll get you that way. If you're used to just going there and click like order again, buy again, the one that you're buying again will be more expensive than just another option of the same exact item. So I do kind of check the price periodically, but you guys also need to check the price, because some things in that list may be higher or maybe lower. The glue is there. I have linked the favorites list several times. I need to update the whole linking system for Amazon. Amazon is coming out with a different format for associates links, and I need to update the videos to that. I will get it in there. I'm choking. I will get it in there. The favorites list, but there it is for both of those. So if you guys want to check that out, we're going to get started making some pockets. Thanks for stopping by, Maria. Awesome. Hope you have a good time. So yes, what are you guys doing this weekend? I know what I'm doing, but what are you guys doing? I'm building journal kits. If you did not hear, the journal kit it's a physical journal kit for the month of March is botanical themed. And I've played around with the title of this, and the best way, because I haven't settled on one yet, the best way I can explain it to you, and this is what I'm doing with my journals. It's a botanical kit that you can tailor to any theme that you want to tailor it to. But what I'm doing is like a very more botany than flower garden, if that makes sense. More sciencey, industrial botany, botanical, more that way than pretty flowers. Now, you could go either way with the kit, but I'm just telling you guys, mine's going to be more like the natural botanist field note kind of planty kit, if that makes sense. Anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to flip the camera down. We're going to get started. The kit's going to be fun. Plus, we're doing a new junk journal cover. I actually haven't pre-made one, so hopefully I'm sure it will. But anyway, let me flip the camera down so we can get started. All right, there we go. There's that part. Sometimes I think I would like to just get rid of this mat. So I hope that you guys are okay with me getting, do you want me to keep this or can I just get rid of this and go to the regular table? The March kit, if I have any left, which I'm hoping to have some, I will sell again on Tuesday. If I have any left, which I'm hoping to, I will sell it again on Tuesday. Can I get rid of this mat thing? Regular table, regular table. Cool. Let's do regular table tonight. It's just easier for me. The camera's going to freak out for a minute, but I will fix it. It needs white balanced again. Sorry. I know you guys don't want to see my hand. Okay, let's get this autofocus situation fixed. It just needs something to focus on here for a second, and we'll get that taken care of. Okay, so this should be better. Now let me make a couple of adjustments to the light because we don't have that mat up there anymore. I think that's probably good. Okay, thank you guys for letting me get rid of my mat. I miss just crafting on my desk. Now, this isn't even my craft room, though. That's what's sad. I miss crafting in my craft room. The only thing I do in there anymore is organize, put stuff away that I bought, or sew in there. It's kind of sad. It's a beautiful craft room, and I would like to get back in there and filming in there. And I almost have it set up for that, but the other filming studio just needs electrical at this point. All right, here we go. On Tuesday, I will show you that kit. On Tuesday. Okay, so I printed these, not because I want to use them as tags. I printed them on paper. These ones are Raindrop Lila. So if you go over, if I link somebody or anybody else, if you're watching a video and somebody says this kit that they're working with is from a certain designer on Etsy, and you go over there to Etsy, if you just mention, hey, I saw your kit on Gail's channel. If Gail Augustinelli was doing a video and she's showing a kit and you found out that that kit, you know, it's beautiful, you want it, and Gail says, oh, it's from Raindrop Lila. If you go over to Etsy and you go to Raindrop Lila and you find kits and you purchase them, send Raindrop Lila a message and just say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that Gail was doing a video and she mentioned you, and so I came over and bought your kit or whatever, right? And the reason why I say that is because these kit designers, some of them have their own YouTubes and some of them don't. Some of the kit designers who design digital kits, they just design the kits, and then some of them have, like, you know, design teams or something like that where other people are using their kits and making the content surrounding the kits. And then that's the way that their kits get kind of sold, is because they get noticed in other people's videos. And so a couple of you guys have gone to the Paper Cameo, which is the other blue kit that I'm using in the blue journal. And you guys told her that you guys were watching me and that I told you guys go over there. And, you know, she sent me a very nice message and we're actually talking about doing a project together. So for that reason, it helps me out and it helps obviously the people out. They know who's referring you to them. And they know, you know, maybe they want to contact that person. Like maybe Raindrop Lila would want to contact Gail and say, hey, Gail, I just came out with this kit, or I think you might enjoy this kit. Do you want to work together where you make a project using the kit and film a video for me? And so that's kind of what happened with the Paper Cameo. So we are going to do a project together. We're just kind of settling on how that's all going to work out. But I am going to do Paper Cameo project, which I should show you since I'm talking about her. Do I have Paper Cameo printed? Somewhere in this pile of papers next to me, there is Paper Cameo pages. Well, here's Paper Cameo digital printed labels. And so I have shown you guys these before, but this is Paper Cameo. And she has a massive pack, I think it's all one kit, of all these different labels. And since I do antique Frenchy kind of journals all the time, I printed these different ways, 2 to a page, etc. So you can see she has a million things that are right up our alley. For Frenchy kind of kits, the paper cameo. And even though I just told you guys we're going to have a week of my own digitals printed and whatever, I'm still very happy to support other kit designers because each one of us does a different technique or a different whatever on our digitals, and they're all unique. There's no way that one single designer will create a kit and that is the only person you're going to buy digitals from. Everybody buys digitals from a bunch of different people. Even though I make my own digitals, I still want to support and play with other people's digitals. So anyway, the paper cameo is the other blue kit that I use in my journal. And I was looking to see if I had any other pages printed laying here, but I don't have the kit pages printed, the blue ones. Let me grab the journal. It's probably going to be coming in handy anyway. But you guys were asking me where the center page came from. The center page in my journal, so this is the blue journal we're working on. The center page, this is paper cameo. This is paper cameo here. And then Raindrop Lila is like this one with the typography or the writing. This one here is Raindrop Lila. This is Raindrop Lila. So I did use a mixture of different designers. There's actually one other designer in here, and it is the what I'm going to call 49 in Market Paper. But because we're not sure if I'm allowed to use that or whatever, it kind of looks like it's a knockoff shop, but I haven't been able to get any answer or whatever from Etsy or the person. So I'm not going to send you guys to get those because I don't know if we're allowed to have them or if they're stolen artwork. But this is Raindrop Lila. This I think is paper cameo, but I'm not sure. But both of these kits work really nice together. So go to Raindrop Lila and go to paper cameo and take a look at their kits. This is Raindrop Lila. This is original. This is Raindrop Lila. But anyway, that's what I was going to talk to you guys about, digitals. Just go pay attention to where you're getting your digitals from, get from good people, and then make sure if you go over there because somebody referred you there, you let them know because that could really help out a lot of people. But some designers, you know, they're all busy designing their kits. They don't have time for YouTube channels. Some of them work full-time jobs, take care of families, and design only in their spare time. So the partnership aspect of it, you guys are going to like it because we're going to work with a kit. I'm hoping to get like a discount code where you guys can get a discount code off of their digitals in their shops as we partner with them. And then also, you know, it helps her out because she's getting a lot more exposure to her digital kits and her Etsy store. I don't know what it's called. It's blue. It has the word blue in it. Let me look. Let me pull up Etsy and look because I don't honestly know. I need to sign out and sign back in. I use two different things because where I download kits is different from where I sell kits. So here we go. My purchase history. It's wanting to verify my identity. No, thank you to that. So for purchase history, there we go. It is, there's a lot in there. Gotta scroll way down. Raindrop Lila, oh, I'm sorry, paper cameo. The paper cameo is called Bluebells. This one right here in the center is Bluebells. Is that what you're asking me? The center? I'll have to look back over there. But this is Bluebells. And then this kind of a kit right here. This one is Little Blessing Baby Blues from Raindrop Lila. It tells me that the bluebells and the labels are the ones I purchased from Paper Cameo, and Little Blessing, and then Little Blessing is Raindrop Lila. And then this one, this page, where is it? These neutrally pages, these ones, they're called Pretty Neutral Backgrounds I also bought a printable tag from Raindrop Lila and Camille backgrounds, which this might be Camille backgrounds, or this is Pretty Blue wallpaper. And then I bought the tags. So these are Raindrop Lila tags, and they're called French Antique Neutral tags and French Elegance tags. Hopefully that answers all your questions. And again, you do not have to make the same journal as me. You do not have to use the same kits as me. You could do a completely different theme. You could make yours however you wanted to make yours. It has, there's no right or wrong way of doing them. You could get the kit and just totally make it steampunk, trains. You can use the stuff in the kit however you want to use it. Anyway, I printed these, as I was saying, a long time ago. I printed these so that I could use them on pockets or tags, just bits and pieces of them. Just because it's a tag doesn't mean it has to stay a tag. So I know I'm not going to use all of these as tags in the journal, but then I might want to take out this little part and put it on a pocket or something else, right? So anyway, I printed some that I thought I would play with. I printed these for collaging, these for focal points. There's a page of just, all of this is Raindrop Lila. And then there's this just for kind of putting on tags in the background or pockets in the background. Okay, so there's what I printed today. Usually I print like, 100 pages for just one journal. Could I add the kit names to my description? No, I cannot. There's a reason for that. I am going to be using that. Yes. I have the actual 49 in market paper that is not a digital. I have that kit. I just do not have every page in that kit. But I am going to use it, and I am using the Stamperia. Not in my signature. The 49 in market is too thick for my signature, the actual paper, which is why I bought the digital version of it and printed that out. But the 49 in market and the Stamperia paper is too thick for my signature. I'm using the 49 in market digital in my signature, but I am not using Stamperia paper in my signature. It's just too thick. I will use it for pockets. Excuse me. I have hiccups. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started with pockets. The first thing that I want to do is I want to prep some pocket bases. So if you pull out any kind of book page, it doesn't have to be rag paper, but that's what I have, so that's what I'm going to use. Any type of book page, and you're just going to glue two of the same book page together. So if they came out of the book connected together, all the better, but you're going to glue one side, put the other one on it, and that's how you're going to get the thickness that we're looking for pocket bases. So I need a bunch of these kind of pockets, so I'm quickly going to glue them, and then while they're drying, we're going to make something else. I brought in a new sheet because this sheet, it's fine. I probably could use it for another year, but it's getting annoying. When it gets too crinkly, I don't know. I just don't like it. I've been using this one for, I don't know, a very long time. So I'm going to do one of these it's a little rag paper French dictionary. So the point of gluing two sheets together is for thickness. For durability, also, if you use rag paper, it will be stronger than if you use regular book page, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be like Reader's Digest book page or whatever. And just add glue everywhere. You don't want to leave any open spaces because you'll get an air pocket. And then just put the two together. And it doesn't have to be exactly lined up either. Like this one's off a little bit here at the top. It doesn't matter because normally we're going to cut this down anyway. So just do a couple of those quick and put them to the side and let them dry. And I'm just going to do one of a couple of these, and then we're going to move on to making some other kind of pockets. I do try to look at the back side because one time there was like this beautiful page with all this gorgeous typography, and I added glue to it, and I really didn't mean to. I like to save the special pages to use where you can, see the beautiful illustrations or typography or whatever. Okay, so here's one of these. And these will dry in 15 minutes or so. My cutter has been really grumpy about cutting things that are soft with glue. It has started to just tear them. And I have cleaned it out a couple times, but I have the new Tim Holtz rotary cutter. I have the Caterpillar one also, but I got sent the rotary cutter to try out and use on a video. And so I need to get it out of the box and do that. But the Tim Holtz rotary trimmer, that's the one I'm going to start using in my videos. Since doing the 365 series, I almost need to like hire someone to manage all of that kind of promoting and cross promoting stuff, because I get a message every single day from some company asking me to do some kind of product thing in my videos. And the only ones I will actually work with is if I actually like the product. So I haven't really responded to many of them because there's stuff that, you know, it's like paints or something, and watercolor pencils and all this other stuff. And it's like, if I don't like it, I'm going to say that on camera. I'm not going to just tell people, oh, I like your stuff, you know? Like, so I said, you know, it has to be honest review. And if you want to send the product, like the Tim Holtz thing, I never have a problem with, right? Like everybody knows his stuff is fine. But if you want me to do the video, no problem. Just understand that it will be an honest review. And then they send me the product, and I said it also has to fit into my time schedule. So I don't want to just do a bunch of videos where I'm doing promoting things, right? Because they're not paying me for this. Some of them offer to pay you, and those ones, I don't know what to even think about that. Because if you're offering to pay me, doesn't that kind of take away the honest review part of it? Like, I don't know. I just think I have to be very like careful with all of that. Like, I don't want to get into a position where like I can't just say, "Oh, this is a terrible product," if it's a terrible product. And if you knew me, you would know that I would probably say that no matter what anyway. I'm going to do this one backwards just because I like this side better. But anyway, so I don't know. I don't want to do a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. I just want to create with what I want to create with. There's probably a million other people that will do that kind of work for them. Digital kits in mind for the new one? Not yet, but as we go, I have a digital kit that I made for it. And as far as that goes, I probably will use other designers as well. But the kit that I made for it is done, and it will be going into Etsy. And then when I show you guys the kit on Tuesday, I will have that one in my Etsy. And then if I decide to use another person's kit, which I probably will, because I do like to mix them. I hardly ever make a journal where it is all one person's digitals, every single page back and front. I like to mix them because, like I said earlier, every digital maker, they have their own style. And if you're using only one person's digital throughout the whole entire kit, it does kind of look same. So very rarely do I use the same person's digital, the same digital kit throughout the whole journal. My digital kit, it obviously goes with that theme, the field note botanical journal theme. I think we're pretty good. I've got one more set of pages here. These can be made for pockets. They could also be made for journal cards and extra thick page. Journal cards and tags. So we're going to have a little bit of stuff built up to play with. Yeah, if you guys have questions, just holler them out. Somebody will help you, or I will look up and help you. If it's something I need to answer, put it in all caps to kind of catch my attention better. Because when I'm looking down gluing, it's hard to also look to the side at the monitor, which is another thing that in the filming studio is better because it has actual places to view the chat better. And I will not be doing a studio tour of that one. It has lots and lots of upgrades and technology that I am very happy to keep to myself. The craft room has a tour, and this one I've done behind the scenes, but the filming studio, I'm not gonna film that one. Okay, we did it. We've got a whole bunch of pages prepped. We move that one off to the side, and this one off to the side. While those are drying, let's go through the basket and pull out pockets that we have already made in the 365 series. Rag paper is amazing. I'm telling you, I love it. You guys know I love it. I love it very much. So this is just a basket of things that I have made already for they're blue, right? They may not go in this journal. In fact, I know not all of them will, but this is a basket of blue things. Some of them are finished, some of them are not finished. This is kind of what we're making right now, where I've taken 2 book pages and I've glued them together. So now they're like, you know, it's thick, it's sturdy. This could definitely be a pocket. It could be made into a tag. So this is what we just glued. We're going to cut these down. Again, I could turn this sideways and make it a pocket. This one is ledger that's glued to coffee dyed paper. So we could make these into pockets, or we can make them into tags. But I just have a bunch of things in here. Obviously, this is made to go in this CD envelope. I was looking for this when I sewed them into my signature. These go in these envelopes that we need to finish. So we do need to finish these. I can pull these out and we can work on them. So if you have an envelope with a window in it, and normally in the kits there is some kind of envelope. If you have an envelope with a window in it, with or without a window in it, we're going to make those tonight. And then these will be glued on a page. So I'm going to pull those out. These are the ones I just did in the video, the little skinny guys. I did not even decorate those yet, but they're there and they will go on a page in each one of the journals. So they're little tucks that have long tags that go in them. So this is the tag and it goes down in this pocket. So quickly we're going to go through this basket. So it goes in like this, and then this gets glued on the side of a page and it's a tuck. So there's those. I have some clusters that I put in here that we built just for decorating pockets or whatever. They can be tags. This is a pocket. I'm not sure if this goes in that journal or not, but they're in there. My wallpaper little pockets are in here. This is just a French tag that does not need to be in here, but it is in here. Put it over there. Then I have unfinished ones. These are the ones I'm looking for. Unfinished collage masterboards. There is a big section of those. So we are going to do some decorating and finish some of those up. This was a challenge I did in a group I'm no longer a member of. But this little pocket, it's just a piece of blue ledger paper that I folded into an envelope and then put lace and like a little lacy cluster. And so I think this can fit on a journal page and it can be a pocket. So there's one pocket for sure that's going in here. This is that little waterfall flip down thing. These are my napkins that I put on here, and I think these are going to be glued in as pockets. I need to sturdy them up. These are the little over the page, it goes this way, little over the page, page topper thing. These I need to finish up, but they're going in there. This is how these ended up. And I think these are going to get glued down on a page as a tuck. I think that's what I have decided to do. So we definitely have some things ready to go. This is also a tuck that gets glued down and it needs to be decorated. Here's my little belly bands that go over the page, and there's several of those started but not finished. Here's some more little blue pockets. And again, I don't know if these for sure are going in there, but they are blue and neutral. So they can, I know this one is, I just don't know if I'm putting all of them in there. Then there's this, just it's glued to a page. So it's just going to remind me how to make the little expanding pocket envelope. It expands all the way back there and then through here. So there's some ideas. These are 365 videos. This is a 365 video, and it has space for all these tags. And then it opens up and it has more tucks and pockets. So all of this stuff, all of it has already been made in a 365 video. This is like a little folio flip out thing that we made. More clusters for decorating. These corner pockets are made into 365 videos. So those will go in there. And then these book page pockets, I believe I made a 365 video on these. I think I'm pretty sure I did. And these need decorated because I do want to put these in this journal. So we have some decorating in our future. Here's a couple more little pockets with birds. So we have lots of stuff started. Let's go ahead and move forward with the decorating of these. And then when those pages, these rag paper pages that I just glued together, when they get a little more dry, we'll work on those. Okay. Hello, Melissa. Hello and welcome. All you new people out there watching, hello and welcome. So as you can see, I have just done some book page to cover my envelope front. I've done some kind of patterned floral, blue paper, whatever, and some doily. It doesn't have to be decorated the same. In fact, I will be using a different paper for these. And then I've cut the top so that this is going to be open until I glue it to a page. But I've cut the top so that we can stick our tag down. It's got a little thumb hole notch. And how these work is you glue them onto the side of your page. Like this is your journal page here. You glue this in here and then this flaps out like this. And the tag goes back here and you add coffee dyed paper or some other kind of pretty paper in here. I like to just add coffee dyed paper so you can write on the back side of it. So it's kind of like a flip out. So we're going to decorate the other two of these quickly while those dry. Then we're going to decorate some of the masterboard. We've made masterboards on camera before. We've also made masterboards in the 365 series. So we're going to decorate some masterboard pieces and turn that into pockets. Then we're going to make some new pockets that we have not even started yet. Okay, so I have these blue papers. Not really wanting to use that one. I'm okay with using this one in the background. I'm also okay with making them neutral. And in addition to that, I've got these two here that we could mix in. All right, so there's plenty to play with. My journal is all blue and neutrals, so I'm not adding a bunch of color in there. I do need my book pages back though. So I'm going to start by adding the book page, and then I will add the little patterned paper piece. And so for a book page, I'm just using this rag paper. And I'm just going to glue up my envelope. Glue up my envelope and lay my paper over it. I have a bunch of glue sticks that I am trying to use so that I can start some new ones. Sometimes for the 365 series, and I've said this before, I'm afraid to come in here with just a glue stick that is already open and going because I worry that there's not going to be enough glue on that one, right? And so I always end up bringing a new one in here. And then I have all these half-used glue sticks. I feel like this is something I would normally like have yelled at my kids about, you know? Like you have to use the end of the, you know, whatever it is before you get a new one out, kind of a situation. So I'm just going to lay this on here and it's going to be kind of rough. I can kind of see the envelope behind it. Not exact, but I kind of can see it. And so I've got this little bit here over the window, and that's okay. I'm going to snip that off here or tear it off or something. Let that dry a little bit. I just don't want to cover up that much of my envelope. So I've got it glued in there. I take my little, I'm just going to gently open it. Using it more as a straight edge. A ruler would also have been lovely. And it's got a little bit here. That's great. There's that little bit. Okay. Let's see how far up it goes. Oh, we're there. Okay. Just got to tear this little bit off and we're good. And then once this is dry a little bit, I will cut off the overhanging bit. And I'm good with the rough little bit up here at the top. I think that's fine. So I just like to glue the paper first and then pull the little bit off of the envelope rather than trying to trace or cut out or whatever. So there we go. I'm good with that. Let's cut off this little bit. Do you guys know those little trash cans that can hang on the side of your desk? I am definitely going on Amazon and buying one of those. You know, they're like little crafters trash cans. Some of the like Stampin' Up and some of those companies probably make them. But I need one of those little trash cans that has the clip that clips to the edge of your desk so that you can just wipe all your little paper bits or trash or glitter or whatever into your trash can right from your desk. So like you just would wipe your desk into the little trash can that's clipped onto the side of your desktop. I am really looking for one of those. Hopefully Amazon has one. They probably do. And then it can be here in the morning and I'll get to use it. I really need it because my big trash can is underneath my desk, and you know I actually rest my feet on it because this is a counter height desk. But every time you like take your paper bits and you try to put them in your trash can, paper is very thin and light, and by the time it drops down to the trash can, it usually goes everywhere. So if I just get one of those little desk ones, I think it will work a lot better. Anybody have the little desk one? Does anybody have a little clip-on desk trash can? So I could put this on there, or I could start with this. I think the writing on this is just a little too dark for me and bold. And that happens sometimes when you scan in old things and you alter them. Sometimes in order to make the writing show up, it just ends up turning out a little bit too bold. So let's put this on there instead. So for this one, I'm just going to tear a piece of it. And I'm just going to start it right about there. Let's see. For this one, I actually am going to have to sketch out. I have a pencil in here. Somewhere down in the bottom of here. I have to sketch out an envelope. Okay. It will not be exact, but it will be good enough. At least it will help me. So there's the part that was my envelope window. And then we're going to stick this on here, but I'm going to tear off the top a little bit. So we just need to place it right there. And then, oops, we need to tear the other way. There we go. A little more of an angle. There we go. And then let's tear this side also. And then we're going to place that right there. That'll be great. Just enough color. Okay, so gluing it down. Hello, Kendall. Thank you for crafting with me. I always feel like I'm doing it, but you know, what are you guys doing? Are you guys just like watching, hanging out? Some people, you know, they worked today, they're tired and they just want to hang out. I totally get that. And some people are like all gung ho and they're already like almost done with their blue journal. It all depends on how much time you have to craft, right? So journals can take as little time or as much time as you want them to. And for some people, you know, they got time and they can sit down and just, you know, crank it out in a weekend and get it done. But for me, I'm going to put glue up here at the top. For me, the only time that I have had to work on this journal is the time that we are together and the 365 videos. So if it hasn't been done in that time, the Fridays and the 365s, then it hasn't been done yet. Normally I do have to finish the journals because I make 3 of them at a time, and this has a little bit showing there. That's okay, I'll fix it. But normally I have to finish the journals on my own afterwards because there's 3 of them. But I think we're going to do pretty good this time getting everything done. I think so. So as far as making pockets, let's talk about how many pockets and where to place the pockets. So this is a single signature journal that I'm making. Some of you guys probably did a single signature. I have heard a few of you did the tall version instead of the 9x6 version. So the tall, it doesn't matter what size, like 9x6, or if you made a 10x13, or if you made the tall skinny document style journal, that part doesn't matter. What does matter is if it's a single signature or a multiple signature, as far as how many pockets you put in your journal. For me, I'm going to put in, I always put the same number of pockets as a general rule. I always put the same number of pockets in the single signature journals. So what I do is I like to put 6 pockets in the front of the journal, the front half of the signature. So that center spread, that's the front half, and then there's a back half, right? So I like to put 6 in the front and 6 in the back half. So there's a total of 12 pockets or page decorations, because I count like a belly band, that's a page decoration. If I put like, that big belly band with pockets or something that slides on a page or whatever. So I put 6 elements in the front and 6 elements in the back. So a total of 12, most of them are pockets, or they can be like a belly band that holds stuff, right? So 12 places to put some kind of journal card or tag. So there's that. And then I wanted to continue with some doily a little bit down here at the bottom. Let's kind of go something like this. So I'm going to need a total of 12 things to put in this journal. I'm trying to figure out, I think I just want to do it here. It just leaves this little white section, but I think we're going to put a label and a focal point. So I'm just going to do a little bit down there. Okay. Let's do this. That's good. So we're going to need 12 for each journal. So for me, I really need 36, but for us, we're just going to use 12. Okay. Now you can make as many as you want. You can make less, you can make more. It doesn't really matter. But I think 12 fits really well, because if you used my formula for making a single signature journal, you had 15 large pages. You had 15 of the printed digital size weight paper, that kind of size paper. You had 12 to 15, 15 being the max. So if you have 15, like, let me pull that journal. Where did I put it? If you have 15, which I think this one does have 15. If you have 15 of this size page, the digital size page, again, so it could be your copy dyed paper, that counts as 15. So it's 15 of this size and this thickness, so sturdy, strong paper. On 15, you're going to have 15 here, and you're going to have 15 here, but they're double-sided. So in reality, you're getting, out of 15 pages, a minimum of 60 writable surfaces, 60 surfaces. On 60 surfaces, 12 interactive elements is pretty good, because you're also going to have all these little pages and all these other, different size pages, and the ones that flipped in and folded in, and all of your little add-in pockets and things like that. So basically, here's my center spread. I put 6 pockets or 6 page, belly bands, whatever, 6 on this side and 6 in this side. That way they're evenly spread out. I make sure that I count the pages and make sure that everything is evenly spaced. I never put a pocket on this side and then put a pocket on this side. I always leave one space, you know, open so that the person working in the journal can play with it how they want to play with it. I don't usually put pockets on the coffee dyed pages because I like leaving them so that they can write on them. And some pages you'll notice, like this spread, it needs a pocket. There's not really any focal point, right? There's a background and then a coffee dyed paper. So this over here would definitely get a pocket. You're going to notice that some of your pages in your printed digitals, like this could have a pocket also. I won't do back-to-back pocket, but some of them, like, you know, this has open space. You could put a pocket there. But again, if I put a pocket over here, I'm not going to put pockets too close together. But some of your digital pages, I have some focal points somewhere. Some of your digital pages, let's find a focal point. Okay, so here's a focal point. So some of your pages, they have a focal point. You don't want to cover it up with a pocket. So just avoid your focal point pages. Look for pages. And when you're printing digitals and choosing which digitals to print, that needs to be talked about when we make the botanical journals, just to kind of go over that. When you're choosing pages to print, if you print a focal point on one side of your digital page, make sure you give yourself a back to your focal point page that is not a focal point also. Give yourself something more plain, like patterned wallpaper, or, you know, a patterned digital, a document, journal, ledger paper and stuff like that can go on the back of a page with a focal point. Try not to do focal point here and focal point here. If you absolutely have to, try to get the focal point on one side, like the left side, and then the other focal point could go over here on the right side, if you have to do back-to-back focal points. But my preference is to print something plain on one side and something a little bit more focal pointy on the other side. On this one, there isn't really anything here, but I'll add a pocket, so it'll be fine. But I'm just trying to give you guys how I do it. There isn't a right or wrong reason. I just think 6 fills up each half really, really well. Okay. What you guys talking about tie-dyeing? What you guys gonna tie-dye? Okay, so I've opened up my window just a little bit, although I could have left it because you still could see through. So this guy is background decorated. We're going to add little either botanicals or French fashion ladies on these. I have not decided. I have a French fashion magazine that I have started cutting up, and I have a new one that I have not yet. So we will definitely have enough focal points. There's that one. And then this next one, I'm going to work a little faster and get this guy covered. You guys already saw me do this, so we don't need to spend all day on it. Let's use this book page again. What do I have? This one. I don't really have enough, and I don't want it to come from the bottom. I will use that for something else. So let's just tear it, get to work. I will outline this one. It's just going to be faster. So I just kind of find where it is with my finger and kind of make some marks on my paper, and then hope for the best when you cut it out. Blue lace would be beautiful to dye paper and lace. I did use the tie-dye kit before. I dyed seam binding with that. And if you get the birthday kits from like the craft store, they usually have a lot of packets of dye in them, and you can mix the colors like you were talking about. I will just say that that dye does wash out a lot. While we're using it for paper, it would be fine, but it does wash out a lot on fabric. Okay, that'll be good. So let's go ahead and get that. Just wanted to make sure I'm gluing the top. My favorite is the RIT dye or natural dye. My preference, I guess, would be natural dye. Nothing dyes paper better than, berries and all of that kind of stuff. The avocado, obviously everyone loves avocado dye. And you can't really replicate that color with RIT. RIT is very obviously a color dye. It's very fake, right? Um, it's definitely different. And then how you dry that paper also really is important. Okay, there's that part. Let's get some color down here at the bottom, and we're just going to keep using this one because it's here. I've got a little bit of botanical. I don't know that I want that, and this is very white. Let's go ahead and use this part. And so again, I will outline quick. Sometimes it's really hard to feel where the envelope starts and stops. You definitely can. My preference for dyeing blue paper is butterfly pea. It's a tea. That's what I'm saying. The RIT dyes and stuff, beautiful, but very obvious fabric dye kind of a look. But for seam binding and lace, all day long, definitely. How many of you guys dye your own lace? Or would be interested in that? Did I do some dyeing videos? Lace and paper? I know you guys want the paper one. You guys have asked for it before. But what about lace and paper? Okay. You do? Awesome. I think dyeing your own lace is definitely the way to go. The people that I know that do dye the lace, they charge an arm and a leg for those packages of dyed lace, and I am not a fan. It's just way, way, way overpriced for that dyed lace. I don't do it. Do you guys know that if you are dyeing stuff, if you are dyeing fabrics and things like that, you can do it in your washing machine? And I know that sounds bad, but trust me, it's not. It works really well in your washing machine. In your regular household washing machine, you can just dye your fabrics and your laces and whatever you're dyeing and their seam binding, whatever, right in your washing machine. It's safe to do. I am going to add that there. It's safe to do, and it's less messy than trying to do it like in the utility room sink or laundry room sink or kitchen sink or wherever you're trying to do it at. I'm going to glue right over that window. And I'm just going to put that on there. All right, so we've got all three of these done. Yeah, the vintage. So here's the thing to keep in mind with dyeing the lace. All lace is made from different fiber content, right? Even if it says it's cotton lace or it feels like cotton lace or whatever, it's all going to come out different. So even though you put a big bundle of lace. I can't get this off my finger. A big bundle of lace in your washing machine to dry it, or in your sink, or in a bowl, or whatever you're doing. All of the fibers in those laces are different, and your lace is going to come out different shades of whatever color. So if you're trying to dye it blue and you make one vat of blue dye and you dye your fabric and laces in there, because of the different fiber content, they're all going to come out different shades. Some of them are going to need to soak longer than others to be able to even see the dye. And also there's different dyes for synthetic fabrics and natural, like cotton fabrics. So you need to make sure that you look in that and think all of that. And my advice would be to test it before you just dye like $100 of lace. Like, just test it on a small little snippet of lace. Like, take a small little snippet of whatever lace you're thinking of dyeing and dye it, and then let it dry all the way before you consider dyeing, yards and yards of lace. That would be my best advice to you. But just know going in, it's all going to come out different shades. And honestly, that is the best part, because you don't want everything being same anyway. Those pieces are too small to save. Okay, so we've done that. Let's go on to our little pocket papers now. We will come back and we will, I guess I can thumb hole notch these. We're going to put focal points on these. We're going to put focal points on those unfinished. I didn't snip these open yet. We're going to put focal points on everything, and we're going to decorate these book pages that I started over here. They're dry enough now to play with. It's super fun to dye things. I will caution you that it is addicting, and you're going to want to dye everything when you see how it comes out, because it comes out beautiful most of the time. Sometimes you get an unbeautiful result, but just like crafting, just like making junk journals, you can just dye it again in a different color if you do not like the way it came out. Most of the time it's fixable. So, but do test things before you just dye tons and tons. Because, you don't want it to, how am I going to cut this one? It's hard to get it in there. The envelope is kind of glued shut. You don't want to waste lace. And just know, as it dries, it normally gets lighter for most fabric. Let me ink these quick, and then I stacked these all on top of each other, which wasn't very smart either. And then we're going to play with these. Okay. I need to ink them so we can finish them. Because these I want to glue to a page. So they will be little flip outs. That's the way I did my envelopes this time, is little flip outs. Of course it's wet. So when it's wet, it inks terribly. I do not like it. It grabs the ink much different than when it is dry. I do not like inking wet things. I don't like inking in general, but specifically not wet things. There's that one. Thank you. This is just the base layer. We're going to add some focal points, either botanicals or French women, but I think I want French women in the envelope, so we'll probably put botanicals on the outside. And the reason why I'm saying botanicals is because they're nice and tall. I've got my Florilegium book, and if you want to get the Florilegium book for the botanical journal kit for March, that would be a good idea. Although I did include some pages for you guys. I also printed you guys lots of things for the botanical journals. So you will have some book pages with flowers on them, and you'll have some things I printed. Oh, this one I made the doily go all over it. I see. Okay, so there's those. Need to ink this back little page, and then I'm good. So my envelopes are coffee dyed. When you drink your morning coffee, if you are a coffee drinker, you can just, whatever's left over in your pot, dump into a dish and put some paper or a journal card or whatever you have left. Just use it instead of putting it down the sink. I used to just keep a pan on the counter, and then when I had a big pot of coffee, which I haven't had big pots of coffee for a while, but if you have a lot of coffee left over, just dump it in that pan, and then before you go to work or before you go out, for your errands or whatever you're doing that day, throw some stuff in there. Usually in coffee dye, you just dip it in and you pull it back out and let it dry. Usually coffee dye doesn't need to soak in there, but use up your coffee in a creative way instead of dumping it down the sink. So that's what I did with these. Okay, all three of those are done. Ready to move on to the final point of decorating there. We'll get those done in a minute. Let's go ahead and start with the ones that are the most dry, which is these two. These ones, I really wish I had a little heater in here for them. Since I turned the air on, they're like, I'll just stay wet. All right, so for these guys, the first thing I'm going to want to do is trim them down. I am going to try the trimmer. However, the trimmer may not be my best friend today. This little guy, like I said, he's dictionary page. And so I know that my pages are 5.5 inches, meaning the widest I want a pocket to go across the bottom of a journal page. From here to here is 5.5 inches because it was an 11-inch page folded in half. However, you cannot put a 5.5-inch pocket on here. It's not going to fit and it's not going to look nice. It's going to butt up and it's just not going to look nice. So my advice is the max size you put on the bottom of a page for a pocket is a 5-inch pocket. You can do 5 inches. I have enough room to do 5 inches if I go sideways like this. So I think I'm going to start out with this one and just make one 5-inch pocket. So to do that, I want to keep my dictionary words up here at the top. I do need to do a little bit of trimming. It doesn't have to be exactly 5 inches. Okay, I cut that. You see how scared I was to cut it? It doesn't have to be 5 inches. Let's trim off. So for height, I like it to be 3.5 inches. So I'm going to do 3.5. And I hope it's going to cut it. I'm going to slide it up just a little so that I can cut that side as well. Okay, so far so good. And now we're going 3.5 exact, which is right there. Wiggled a little, right there. Oh, now it's tearing. It just likes to tear sometimes. And I don't want the end of my pocket torn. I think we'll live with that. Okay. Probably should have brought in a different cutter today. Or we're just going to cut it by hand, one or the other. So I'm just going to trim off this little bit where it was rough. And right here. No more cutter for me. We'll do hand cutting today. So I'm going to trim this off. Make sure everything is all lined up. And this is my pocket. First things first is let's thumb hole notch it because we know where we're at with that. I might, cover it up, but at least we'll know where we're at. That's roughly in the center, very roughly. And then let's decorate this guy up. So the base layer, the reason why I made it on rag paper is because I'm going to use some of this. I'm going to leave some of this exposed. I could have it be this way or I could have it be that way. It doesn't really matter. I see some more little rough bits down here. I really need to clean this trimmer. Usually it's just little fuzzies that you can wipe off, but anyway, I'm going to use some of the text that's back there, and then I'm going to add some paper. And I could use Florentine paper. I could use a variety of different things. I think I'm going to add one of these flowers on here. So let's cut out one and see how I can get it on there. If I have my dictionary there, I'd probably want my flower here. So now we're talking about decorating. I could even have it come down from the top up here. So I'm just going to cut this out, but I'm going to leave a pretty good border around it because I want to see some of this blue color. So I'm just going to cut it out, leaving a nice amount of blue border around it. I kind of started big over there and then I instantly went to fussy cutting and went smaller, but it's okay. So just roughly cutting it out. So there's that. I like that. That can definitely go on there. It's kind of cute. We'll just kind of make it come down from there. So that might be like focal point. And then we need something back there in the background. I've got this. It's kind of texty though. It also has text. Let's put some music paper on this one. We have labels and we have music paper. Let's put some music paper on there. I would like white music paper. This is enough different in color. Hopefully you guys can see it's enough different in color. I'm going to use this one. So to decorate these, I'm literally trying to use scraps. It may not work out that I'm using scraps, but I'm going to try to use some scraps. So let's get this music paper on there. Then this, and then really honestly like a postage stamp or a little label, and we'll be good with that one. Thank you so much for saying that you love the 365 videos. I love making them. They haven't gotten old yet. I don't always have as much time as I would like, which I am struggling with, like, you know, how do you figure that part out? Because here's the thing. For every one person that says that I'm going to cover my dictionary up, that they love the videos and they're okay with them being longer, there is a lot of people who say that they do not want them longer, that they are happy that they're 15 minutes because that's all the time that they have that day to watch, right? So I'm trying to find that happy medium. And sometimes people are not kind and they don't like the fact that I go over. And then most of the time you guys are like, oh yeah, please go over. We like to see the decorating part or whatever, you know. Eventually I hope to have it planned out a little better where I can pick out all of my decorations ahead of time and then just have them where I can quickly, you know, glue them on. I even thought about running them through the Xyron so they'd already have adhesive on them. Um, you know, I just feel like that's kind of cheating though, because you know, it's not real. It's not how you would really craft. So I'm just kind of trying to figure that out, but eventually I'll get it situated. We have 300 well, we had 315 when we had day 50. So what is it? 312 now? More days of this. It's probably never going away in all honesty, but at least we'll have 312 more for this year. I'm going to lose a little bit of leaf up there. Let's go ahead and get that on. So I'm trying to find the happy medium, but then people that ask for longer format videos, I do this crafting with you guys 3 hours every week where it's just live crafting. Now, sometimes we build a journal cover or we put a signature in or whatever. So sometimes it's a very specific, you know, theme or we're doing something very specific. But sometimes it's just like this where we're just making random pockets, like, you know, that's okay too. Okay, so there's that. The book page pockets I made are 5 by 3.5. 5 by 3.5. You just take whatever book page you have and cut it down after you glued 2 together. So glue 2 of the exact same book pages together with the glue stick, the Uhu glue stick. Let them dry and then cut them down to 5 by 3.5. So there's that. Now for stamps, I do have the Tim Holtz stamp book. Let's see if there is a nice brown, or probably brown. We have blue. Let's go with brown and kind of warm it up. I don't know how this one would look. I like it. We'll do it. So these have adhesive on them. This is the Tim Holtz stamp book. I have antique stamps too, but these are convenient because all the colors are like where you could easily pick them out, you know. I'm just going to use art glitter for this. I always add extra adhesive to the back, even if it is a sticker. This is my whole point to you guys about doing it. Even if it is a sticker, if it is washi, if it is whatever, add extra adhesive because that adhesive is not going to stay stuck down for, you know, decades. So I added art glitter to the back of it and I inked around the little postage stamp. There's that. Now, we also have some little words, and I was trying to find some cute little words to put in here. This is the clipping sticker book, and we could say little things. We could say just at the moment, just something small like down in this area. Magic in truth. How about very kind-hearted? No, I found it. Knowledge costs nothing. Knowledge costs nothing. Wait. Knowledge which costs nothing is what it says. That's what I'm going to put down there. So I inked around it. Add a little bit of this. And I probably will decorate these pockets all differently just for variety. I don't want every single one to be exactly the same. Kind of a long saying. So I went over the little rosebud a little bit. But this is what this one looks like. Let's ink around it quick and we'll call that pocket good. Then we will do another couple. The glue is still a little bit wet. Just lightly inked around. And that's what it looks like. I don't know how much you guys can see, but it goes with the journal. So there's that. And those are just sitting in front of me, so that's why I pulled them to use. I have some mixed media pieces that this is getting caught on. All right, so after that guy, we've got this one. He's a little thinner, and truthfully, after I layered up a bunch of stuff, this is pretty sturdy. I think this will work fine as a pocket. If I felt like it's a little too thin, like this is still a little too thin for me, then I will back it with, you know, when you print out pages and sometimes they don't print nice, like this one's printed fine, but say you had some where your printer messed up, the printer head was clogged, whatever, you can back things with those pages, which is normally what I save them for. Every time you add glue to something, it's going to get sturdier. So it's a mixture of the paper together plus the glue that really thickens it up. So this guy is going to have to get backed, but before he gets backed, I'm going to try to cut him. We should be able to get a couple pockets out of this. And right now I'm just doing basic pockets, just regular basic old pockets. I'm going to go a little over 3.5 for that first cut. Trying to line it up, but a little crooked. No, I shall not. The cutter is not going to be my friend. It just, I don't know what happens. I don't have a pokey tool in here, but the little paper bits with glue get stuck in the little groove and then it gets angry. So anyway, now we need to go over here and do some more trimming to 5. Do I have 5 on this one? I do. Okay. So 5 inches is right here. And it did that one. Okay, so maybe it just needed cleaned out. So there's this little pocket. Let's do one more and we'll glue both of them down. So if I want 3.5, I'm gonna go a little over because he needs cleaned up. There we go. And then 5. We're pretty much at 5. Oh, this is the other pocket I already did. That's why it's already at 5. Uh-huh. Okay. Now, if you don't have, any kind of book page that you feel comfortable using, you could obviously just make some basic pockets out of scrapbook paper. Just cut them to 3.5 by 5. They'll be fine that way. Okay, so there's that. We have 2 more pockets. For these guys, let's do a little bit different decorating. So we're not same. I just got all these little rough bits left. Mostly fuzz. How are you guys doing out there? Who's making pockets with me tonight? How far along are you guys at with your journals? Use a toothbrush to clean it in the sink with some water. That would probably be helpful because then the water can get some of that glue out of there. I also think I need to redo this as well. I don't know why I just did that because we're not ready for that yet. I need to re-ink my ink pad also. Let's glue these down to something. What do I have here that we can glue them to? A scrap piece of paper somewhere, hopefully. So sometimes you have the little text pages of a book that you're not going to use for your journaling. I'm not going to put this in a journal. I told you guys could cut these into postage stamps, but I'm not going to use them for that. So I'm going to glue these down. Which side do I want for a pocket? Let's use this side. So I'm going to glue these down just to strengthen them one more time. They just came out a little more thin than what I really wanted. And so we're going to add some backing paper to them. And I don't need to wait for these to dry. I can just go straight ahead and make my pockets. So I lined it up where hopefully I only have to cut 2 sides instead of all 4 sides. So there's that guy. And on this one, definitely got to use the other side. And then for this guy, we have Florentine paper sitting here. So I could use some Florentine paper on him, or we could use music or printed digital or whatever we just used. I don't know what else is over there. I'm going to have to see. I have a big pile of printed pages over there. Okay, so that one will need a little trim. He's just not straight cut over there. All right, so after we do this, we're good. I can cut back out my pockets again. Now there's 3 layers of book page, and that last layer is a very thick, nice, sturdy book page. So that's good. And I'm trying not to use scrapbook paper in this journal. Most of the journals I make are antique or very heavily vintage. And so I try not to use scrapbook paper as much as I can. Like the Stamperia and ones that are very vintage looking are fine. But a lot of times your scrapbook paper isn't old enough looking for me. So that's why I'm using this to make pockets so that, I already start out with that very antique look instead of having to put the paper on like a scrapbook. Instead of having to put the book page on a scrapbook paper. So we have these. These are those little images. They're on tags. I should have printed this 2 to a page, and then they would be smaller. Some of these ones we can use for different kind of pockets. I don't really have anything that's small enough to get on here. I do have these though, so we could use those little label parts. There's 2 of those. Maybe we'll try to get these on one of these pockets. All right, so other than the printed digitals, autocorrect got you. Oh, it's Oohoo glue stick. It's the one I always use. And people always ask because This is the name of it. UHU. This is what you type in. That's Uhu. And it's just called Uhu Stick without a K. If you just type in Uhu Glue Stick, you'll find it. It's also on those links I put in earlier. I don't know if it'll scroll back far enough, but I use the 1.4 ounce stick. It's 1.4 ounce. 1.4. That's important. That's the 1.4 is the big thick one like this. That's why it's not like a chapstick. It's much bigger. And it's the magic blue. I always use that one. It's the only one I think that will stick down for me. So after we have these done, let's do some beautiful labels on them. And let's do some super old handwriting. And then we're going to need some color. I've got Florentine paper. I don't know if we want Florentine paper. We'll have to think about that. But I do think I want this super old handwriting. We'll go very antique with these ones. So this one kind of has seeping handwriting. The ink goes through to the back side. So let's just tear off a piece. And let's just start by putting that there. And let's put this one here. This piece of paper is from 1637. And I know some people probably just cried, but that's okay. It has to get recycled and used somehow. I think I'm just going to put this one on this side too. So they'll both go on that side. That's good. So we've got original 1637 document as a layer, and we're very neutral, so we definitely need some color. I'm digging for some kind of color that I like. That's antique looking enough. Or maybe I just make very neutral pockets. That's an option too. And I definitely want to use this on something. This is antique German blue ledger page. This print of typography would be good on there in the background. But we've got writing and writing. Keep looking. Writing and writing won't work for me. And I've got blue ledger and whole bunches more of writing, but I need something that's patterned. So I've got text and handwriting, which means I can't have text or handwriting again. It has to be something else and something with color or pattern. All I have in here is going to be Florentine paper. So we're going to put Florentine paper on these. Do I want this? Do I want crazy blue? And this again is handwriting. So it's crazy blue or black and white. That's really all I have. Let's use this one. This is a letterpress paper. It's the Italian Florentine paper, and it has a little bit of gold. The camera probably won't pick it up, but it does have gold. I don't know how to show you. It's got gold. There we go. Gold in it, and the rest of it is black, but it is a very antiqued black, kind of like this handwriting. So this is what we're going to do on this one. I'm going to have it come from across the bottom. So I want to be able to see my book page back there. I'm going to have this come from across the bottom. This will go over the top. Just like that, I think. And then this one, we've got just this little bit here. I can't get that one far enough over. So he'll have to go like that, and that's fine. Those will work. Okay, let's glue those down. We stayed very neutral on these guys. So this guy goes down first. And this is letterpress paper, which when I get my order from Italy, you guys will know the letterpress paper is thicker. It's almost embossed because it's printed on a 1930s letterpress. It's really, really nice, thick, sturdy paper. It looks great and it's super fun to play with. There we go. There's that one. I'm going to glue up this guy. So I get to use a little bit of original stuff. Now, if you have these papers, which most of you, a lot of you, ordered them at the live sale. If you get these original papers, you could certainly scan yours. You don't have to use the originals. And this guy's folded over a little bit up here, and I'm just going to leave him folded like that. I think that looks a little more authentic. So I'm obviously going to trim off my excess and thumb hole notch it. And this guy's going to go down first on this one. And if you're making pockets, you might as well try to do it like I just did, where I made two at the same time. It's just a little faster, and you know, you don't have to decorate them exactly the same, or you can make two at the same time and tuck one in your ephemera box just to have on hand to use later. It doesn't have to be used in the same journal or at the same time. You could just tuck it in your ephemera box. So I do see that this has a straight edge right there. And I'm going to tear that off. And that's just fine. And then this guy's going to go here. And I think for him, we're just going to tear off this little corner. My fingers are so sticky. Everything is sticking to them. Okay, so now we have a bigger piece. I could go sideways. I'm just going to come right in here like this. That's good. Okay. Old thread. You're saying old thread causes problems in the sewing machine? And I have not had a problem with it, but the only thing I think that you might have a problem with is the thread might be more fragile or brittle, and it might break over time in your project. Depends on what you're sewing with it, though. Okay, so there's those. Let's trim off our excess so we can see them. Tends to tangle or break in your machine. I haven't had a problem with it. I think using vintage thread in the machine is okay, but I think if you're sewing something that might have tension on it, like clothing or something, I would avoid it. Sewing on paper should be fine. Now, obviously, everyone has a different experience and threads are different too. So if you put it in your machine, just make sure that, your tension is good and whatever, and you should be fine. Don't use a spool that has damage on the thread in the spool. Somebody having a problem? Bird's nest underneath. Goodness. Okay, so these are pretty wet. I'm going to try to get a thumb hole notch in them. Sewing things, they can be very frustrating. Sewing machines sometimes are the most aggravating part of my day if I have to use them. This new sewing machine I have seems to be perfect and it works perfect every time. But I have had ones where they were just not my favorite. But I have vintage thread and I use it. But the spools look fairly new, If the spool of thread looks basically new, it's wound tight, I don't think you'd have a problem with it. I clipped off where that was folded over. I'm going to glue it with our glitter. Mine will take it. I have a lot of vintage thread, especially specialty threads. And those it takes just fine too. But everybody's machines are different and everybody's thread is different. If that thread has been exposed to a lot of sunlight or whatever, and it might be damaged on the spool, you should be able to see if the spool looks in pretty good condition, it should be able to be sewn with. But if it's, looking all ratty or it's not wound tight or whatever, then you might have a problem there too. Okay, so art glitter for this little corner piece and we're good. I want to keep it folded over. I like it like that. So I'm going to add that back on there. Okay, there's those two. We just need focal points on them. And I would never quilt or sew clothing with old thread. I just don't think that would be a good idea. Okay, these labels is what I want to put on there. I don't have a focal point yet. I want something very antique looking, so we'll probably use botanicals on there. I have some fussy cuts that I've cut out and they're just laying here. So let's try to pick out something that would look good on there. I mean, we could do a little cluster of daisies. It doesn't have to be on the center either. It could go to one side. That's just some greenery. Something that looks like, I don't know, cattails or something. Either one of those would be good. I like those two. We'll go with those two. I saved these because I figured we were going to need them and I didn't want to have to take the time to cut while you guys are waiting on me. Let's glue those down. The sewing machine, Karen, let me look back and see what exactly was the problem with the sewing, or somebody else having a problem with sewing. Let me look back. Sorry, it took me a minute, Corrine, to get it. Thanks for reminding me about the glue stick. I'm looking for Karen's comment about the sewing machine. I don't really see it, but you guys look like you're handling it in there. I don't like sewing on fabric. I'm not going to be that person that's going to sit there and quilt. It's not my thing. It's just, I don't know. To me, the folding of the fabric and ironing it and then stitching, it's just too much. I don't like it. I need something that yields more instant results than that. I guess maybe I just don't have the patience for it. I guess that's more the point. Okay. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm a little bit too gluey right there. My glue was open, so now it's super dry and yucky. And I know I don't need to glue this whole entire thing either. Okay, so here's this guy going on there somehow. It's best not to do it a mile away from yourself. He looks pretty good there. I'll take him. So it's kind of like a daffodil, but it's white. That's what he has on him. And we'll just trim off his excess down here and we'll keep going. So after this, we've got this guy. So far we've made 3 whole pockets. Now you guys see why I can't decorate on camera, because there's just no way to complete a project and decorate it in 15 minutes. The decorating alone would take 15 minutes. I mean, it's really, really a time crunch. So there's that one. And then some cute little labels. So I've got these that have blue around them. I've also got these more antique typography, book pagey looking ones because we already have scripty handwriting on there and text. I will skip those. There's some on here that I think would look nice, and some of those would look nice. And then there's these and those. Okay. So I'm going to skip the blue ones this round. I've got these ones to choose from for these pockets. One of those would look nice over here. I've got these, but these ones, they're more square in shape, and so sometimes I find them a little bit hard to use. One would look good up here, though. So let's cut out a couple of these. I think I'll save those for another project. I have so much glue stuck to my fingers. I'm going to have to get a baby wipe here in a second. So when I printed these, I had the printer on a different setting, so I did cut off part of my label. I'm not going to stress about it. I will ink up the edge and recreate the bottom myself. Did you guys know that there is a channel that does news for the junk journal world? There's a YouTube channel that actually will tell you like all of the who's doing what kind of projects and who is so she has a channel, and I'm trying to remember the channel name. I totally love you, or I think it's I Totally Love You. I'm not sure. I'll have to remember. But there's a channel, a YouTube channel, and she does junk journal news. And so she'll tell you who's doing like a project like the 365 videos. She said that, you know, on her channel that I'm doing that. But she also has like everybody else linked, like Roxy Creations 100-day project. And she'll tell you who's looking for channels that are looking for design team members and all that kind of stuff. So does anyone know what channel that is? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I believe her channel is I Totally Love You. I don't know why I cannot remember those. Something about turtles. I do remember that part of it. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Maybe not. I'll find it on my phone here in a second, and then I'll put it in there for you guys. But the point of that is that she does these little like news segments where she'll talk about all the happenings in the junk journal community. And as far as I know, she links like everybody's stuff in there. So she did my stuff. I've never even heard of her, and she was doing like videos and linking my 365 stuff in there. So I'd like to, you know, give her a shout out. So I'll look that up if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's linked all kinds of stuff in there, like not even, you know, I don't know. She's doing the projects, who's doing ongoing projects, who has design team calls where they're looking for people to join their design team. She links projects that are going on, like I think a swap. There's a swap section or something like that. I have to remember. I didn't plan on saying anything, but I should have watched one of the videos again so that I could tell you the accurate information. But does anyone know what I'm talking about out there? I'll look it up because I want to put the actual channel in there. But it's great. It has all kinds of information on it. And I think she just does it just, you know, to be nice and to put the information out there. So there's both of those. These are really botanical. If I don't end up using them in the blue journal, they'd be great for the next one. I just have that one on my mind, maybe. I don't know. But they're cute. Cute little, and they're very neutral. There's like no blue or color at all. I'm very glary right now, so let me try to adjust that down a little bit more. I'm very glary. I would like it to not be so glary. I think that's a little bit better. Anyway, let me link it. Let me look on my phone quick. I believe it's I Totally Love You. Also, my phone is hiding this, but guess what? Somebody sent me, and this person is here, I believe. Somebody sent me a lovely Valentine Happy Mail, and it's this beautiful card. Let me make sure I'm not showing envelope. It came in this envelope, handmade card enclosed, and it is this beautiful Valentine's Day card. And I'm not going to show you the inside, but it opens up like this. So it opens up like this, and it opens up like this on the other side. So it opens up both sides this way, but it has a center and it has the greeting in it. So it opens up like this. It's super, super cute Valentine's Day card. And so Diana sent this. I love it. It's gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you so much for sending me little Valentine Happy Mail. Super sweet of you. I totally love it or love you. Let me look at my phone. My phone was underneath that Valentine's card, so let me look quick. She is called Oh, yep, I totally love it. It's I turtle with a Y at the end. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. McMouse Mom. Yes, that is exactly it. Now let me link it so you guys can like click it. Let me link it. Let me link it. How do I do this? Oh, yes, I pull it up here. Got to remember. Oh, got to remember how to do it. Because if I put it in, it's a clickable link. If you guys put it in, it's not a clickable link. So let me put it in the right way. So guys, let's go show her some love because she's showing the Junk Journal community love. And so if I click it, there we go. And I'm going to put it in as a link. So let's go show her some love. Obviously tell her that, you know, oh my gosh, undo that. Tell her that I sent you guys over there, and let's be nice and, you know, subscribe, because she does this, you know, whole thing. It's a whole news segment for the Junk Journal community. So I believe that's clickable. If you click it, that should take you to her channel. Yep, go to channel. Yep, it does. It takes you right to her channel. Doesn't it? Or did I put my own in there? No. It should go right to her channel. Yes, it goes right to her channel. Okay, so go to her channel, show her some love. There's 110 of you in here. I see 2 thumbs up, by the way. But show her some love because she's super nice and she does the Junk Journal community news. The labels I just used are the paper cameo. It is a beautiful card. Thank you, Diana. The only Valentine's Day card I got. Thank you so much. Okay, so we created 3 pockets. One has a beautiful blue flower on it and a Tim Holtz little sentiment down here at the bottom. And then we did 2 botanical ones. The botanical ones I think are my favorite. Those need to dry out. They're getting a little crinkly. Let's go ahead and move on to decorating some already made things because we have a pile of unfinished ephemera to decorate. We did a masterboard and we cut it up. So let's make some pockets out of that. Let me scrape some stuff in my trash. Thank you. Send her some love. It would be nice if she continued to give us all the Junk Journal community news. And it, like you guys know, those videos, they take time. I think she does them once a week or something. I hope she's still doing them. But anyway, here is our unfinished pile of, these were all a masterboard that I cut up. So I made a big masterboard. I made actually 2 of them, at least 2 of them. And I cut them up into small pieces, tags, tucks, whatever, pockets. but we have a lot of these in here. So let's get out some decorating bits and let's just start decorating these up. So let me pull out which ones we're going to decorate these because we started them. And let me pull out the ones that measure the right size for our pages. My journal page in here somewhere. I always lose my little pretend journal page. So any of these are going to be the right size. Any of these, yes. Even this one. So all of these could become pockets. This one is a big tag. So if I want to decorate tags, I've got those options here too. And here's more pockets and more tags. And these, they could be journal cards or pockets, but I just put them all in the big pile. Okay, so let's work on these for a little bit. Aw, thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much. I do love to support other people. My only requirement is that they have to be good people. And she was kind, the Turtley Soup, I don't know her. She was kind enough to, out of the blue, she just found my 365 series and she showed it in there. And I get a notification when somebody links me in YouTube. And so I got a notification that she had linked me. And so I went to check and see, like, what her channel was all about, or, whatever. And so I was looking at it and I watched the first segment of her little news, junk journal news, and I was amazed and blown away. And that was just super kind of her to do. So I want to do something nice back, right? So, sharing her helps her. And hopefully you guys can grow her channel a little bit. All right. So obviously for these, what do I have for things to put on here to decorate these? I have some German scrap, and I think there's a sheet of little girls somewhere. I could use those. We could maybe, I keep looking at these because I really do want to get some of these little pictures on here. So let's try to do like maybe one of these little pictures on here. So they're already collaged. Everything here is collaged. All I need are focal points and labels and, a little word or whatever. Let me grab the French Fashion Magazine also. Thank you guys for showing her love. Thank you. Thank you. Susan, I see your question. I will tell you guys that in just a minute. Let me grab the French Fashion Magazine. So these are the ones I've been cutting. I'm going to tear them. And also these. So there's some, and I'm going to grab a new one. Let's see, that'll work. So here's a different one. And then what else did I say I was going to grab? I was supposed to grab something else while I was up, but I don't remember what it was. Botanicals, I have the book right there. So let's start working with an old magazine first and see what we can find, mostly for these. So this lady is torn right here, this big lady. Sometimes I can put them back together and sometimes I can't. Just got all kinds of trash in here. Okay. Very large people and very large heads in this one. So I think we're good on that one. And then there's this one. I mean, I could do any of these half ladies across here, and sometimes that's all you can get because the ladies overlap. Sorry, you guys couldn't see. The ladies overlap, and so sometimes you can't cut out the, whole lady because their dresses overlap. Like this lady here, she's kind of overlapped with this lady. So sometimes all you can get is a head to put on a pocket. So we might do that. There's little lace bits and little children in this one. So I'm almost finished working with those. And then this is the other one I pulled. Let's see if there's anything in here that we want to put on these. And I just think those are kind of a little bit big. We could put them on there, but they're a little bit big. So are all of these ones. Okay, so let's save the fashion ladies for tags and things like that, because I get a lot more height. There's a lot more height to get these whole people on them. So let me go back to working with the botanicals and lace, and we could also just do some collage. I'm fine with doing some with just collage on them. So like this pocket, we could just put some collage on it. This one definitely. So let's do it on that one. This one also. Not that one. Not that one. I only need 3 done this way. It could go on here, but I'm thinking it's maybe better on this one. Let me hold this one off to the side. I really like that one, so let's not do it on that one. I could put this blue on this one. Not on that one. Okay, so I have 3 that I'm going to just collage. We've already got all of our collaging done. The final little layer is just going to be a little bit of paper. I'm just going to leave it like that with a label. Sometimes you just don't need a whole lot of stuff. Person bought something called bath. I'm just going to add that on there and then maybe just a label. I'm not going to do a whole lot to it. And then I'm going to put some lace or a cluster or something. I don't really want to add a whole bunch more stuff to these. What do I have in my little bin here? We've got a blue label that could go on here. I think that would be a fine pocket. It's just a pocket. It doesn't have to be a super big focal point on a pocket because you're going to have a tag or whatever going in there that has a focal point on it. So I think that's okay. The die cutting on this piece of Tim Holtz is just off. It's got a bigger white border over here than the rest of it, and I don't like that. I tried to ink over it and be okay with it, but I can't be. So I'm going to trim this little piece of Tim Holtz ephemera down, and then we're going to re-ink those sides. And there we go. Now we're good. So sometimes your background is beautiful enough that you do not need to add much else. My focal point in this one is literally just this blue piece and that label, and I'm good with it. So I'm working on this pocket. I'm putting this piece of blue ledger down in there. And I'm just putting it right across here. Getting my writing straight, and then I'm going to actually glue this on. Now, if I wanted to, I could stamp something on these little labels, but sometimes it's nice to leave your labels blank because the person who buys these journals is going to have their own, maybe they're documenting a specific event in their life or something like that. They're going to have their own, titles that they want to write on stuff. So it's okay to leave a label blank. I got a little bit of ink and glue on it. And I keep getting it on because my hands are a mess. All right, so I am washing my hands now. Hi, I totally love it. Hello. Now remind me what your first name is unless you mind. If you mind, you don't have to, but I do forget your first name. I know, Rebecca, you are correct. I'm trying. Sometimes, you pay it forward and you very quickly regret doing that. And that has happened to me a lot lately, especially in the junk journal community. However, it is not going to deter me from continuing. I just have to understand, and you guys too, like, there's a lot of stuff, negativity going on in the world, and not everyone is in a good place. And so, even though you might try to be kind to someone, or you send somebody a message and they just think they take the message wrong, like there's no tone in texting or emails or whatever. And so sometimes you try to do something and it just kind of backfires on you. But continue to try to be kind and be nice, and just understand that not everyone is in the same place as you are, and they might be having a super super bad day or super bad life event. And so maybe, it just wasn't a great day for this person. And don't let it, my point is, don't let it make you think that being kind is just not working out. Because there was definitely a little bit of a time where I was like, wow, like maybe I should just, like, not send people free stuff. Because sometimes I sent, I used to send out some little, in my Etsy store, I would include a little freebie, like a little thank you gift. And I started doing it when I don't know, it was probably a year or so into my Etsy store. And I got a couple messages of like, why did you send me that? My husband found that and he was really mad, and he found out that I ordered because you said thank you for your order. And it was like, how could I possibly have known that your husband would get mad? So this is literally this pocket. I'm not adding anything or changing anything. I'm just leaving it like this. The person who buys the journal can fill that in if they wish to. But anyway, there was a point where I was like, okay, well, I guess, I'm not going to do that. I don't do thank yous now in the Etsy because I just physically can't keep up with it. It's one more thing I have to make and whatever. But the point of it is even when you kind of get those people into your life, just, move on and know that not everybody's in the same place. Susan, that's correct. Yes. Are you still doing the news, right, Susan? That's what I was telling everyone about. Is your junk journal news segment. I know it is sometimes hard to cut one because you lose a lady on the back. Pick the prettiest one and copy them before you cut them, Wendy. And if you guys can't, like if your scanner isn't big enough to copy them, take them to Kinko's and they have a bigger one that can scan them. Staples also does. Every Sunday evening at 6 p.m., guys. So you'll know what's happening for the week ahead. It's perfect. So perfect. And I don't know who's doing what, but we'll watch on Sunday together and we'll find out. It's so hard to sacrifice these little bits too. I can sacrifice this one, but these two have to stay. Okay. Thank you for coming over and letting us know exactly what's happening. So maybe this one can also, I can use up these big labels that I have. These have been in here forever. So let's use those up. What else do I have over here that I can pull out and use? That's blue. Just those labels. Okay, well, we're going to make 3, so 2 more will be good enough. I guess it's going to be that one. Need a little more blue. Uh-oh. Oh. Rebecca, who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? We have many Susans in this group. Many Susans. And it is kind of hard for me to keep track of them, but I tried to call them, some of them by their last names. Like Susan is Susan Elliott. I try to call them unique things so that I can differentiate in my brain who's who. It doesn't always work perfectly, as they will tell you, but I try. See, it doesn't really work this way. I'm going to add some stamps to these two, but I think we're going to use those two cards. And these just need inked around, and we're going to glue these on. And super fast pockets, that the focal point is not a flower, a person, or a bird. It's literally just focusing on some handwritten blue ledger and a label. Yes. Well, I don't want to talk about that, obviously, but there's always drama. There just is. And it's sad that it has to happen, but it happens out of well, several reasons, but mostly it will happen over money. Um, you know, if you're running a business and you have friends or coworkers or whatever you want to call it, there at some point becomes, it's inevitable. Like it just, there's jealousy. It happens. And if there was jealousy and it was just talked about and dealt with, like, I don't understand why we can't just talk about things. Why does it have to reach a level where it did? Like, you know, why we were supposed to be friends, this person and I. We were supposed to be friends. Why couldn't you just come to me and talk to me about whatever it was that was bothering you until it, you know, like before it got to that point? I just, you know, I'll never understand that part of it. But like if something happens, I generally try to talk to the person. Now, if it happens while I'm live, I do not have time, like during a live sale, to address, because this happened just today. There was a person who said something during a live, and the only option I have during a live is the options that YouTube give me to deal with it. If I'm in the middle of a live sale, I don't have like the time to stop my live sale and deal with whatever just happened. I only have the options YouTube gives me, which are put in timeout or ban. And because I'm in the middle of doing what I need to do, what's my live sale, why I'm here, like I don't have the option of stopping and explaining, because you guys know in the last few live sales I have spent so much time explaining how every single thing works and going over kits and all of that kind of stuff, to the point where lots of people are complaining because I talk so much about it, you know. Oh, it's okay, but I'm talking about other things too. Like it's hard during a live sale to deal with everything. But anyway, the person was upset about that, and I just was trying to explain to them, like, I have only the resources YouTube gives me. And, you know, I think talking about things is a much better way of handling them than letting them like stew and then blow up. I get that that's not always an option. I need to use this just to press over things because my other one is so gluey and sticky. But anyway, stuff does happen, and I think we should try to talk about it before it blows up so that it can be dealt with. Because I just, I think people should stay friends. Like, you know, I just don't think people should just like stop being friends. So I don't know. It's hard. But usually money, jealousy, those kind of things. And so if you have a YouTube channel and your YouTube channel might grow, or you have a Facebook group, or you want to start a Facebook group and somebody else has a Facebook group, like it's just always like things like that that kind of get in the way of friendship. And what that tells me is if it takes so little to get in the way of a friendship, we weren't really friends to begin with. And I can tell you we weren't really friends, this person and I, because the whole entire time I was going through that stuff with my son, and I'm still going through that stuff with my son, that person who was supposed to be my friend was really, really absent, didn't ask me about it, didn't pay much attention to it. The person was a nurse, supposedly. Like, I think she is a nurse. And you would think she would offer some kind of help or advice or ask how he was or something. And I was really disappointed. Like, she was supposed to be my friend and she didn't seem to care very much. She was really concerned with what was going on in her life, which she was trying to grow a business and stuff. And like, I just feel like we were supposed to be friends. No, that one still bothers me. I still lose sleep over that. But anyway, I know you didn't bring it up for that purpose. I like this one more because it does have a little floral over there. But anyway, there's those two. I might have to add some florals to these two. I might have to add some florals to all of them. They just kind of look better with them. You guys will tell me. A little greenery, but see, then I'm getting too much floral. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave them. I do like them with the flowers. Anyway. I know. You're right, Debbie. You're right. You're right. Oh my gosh, Wendy. Did you guys see Wendy Anderson? She posted her journal that she's making a blue journal. She posted it in the Facebook group. It is beautiful. The digital that I'm using right now, this is not a digital. I made a masterboard and I cut it up. But this is blue, regular, authentic blue ledger, and these labels are Tim Holtz labels. I probably have a digital at some point. The blue back here, but you can't really even see that. I just wish the people could stay friends. I still wish it. But anyway, my point with that is generally money and stuff about channels or growing Facebook groups or whatever. It just seems to cause problems. Like, I don't have problems with regular people. I have problems with people who are trying to grow their business and they think the only way they can grow theirs is by tearing mine down. And it's like, no, it really, really, really works better if we both grow our business and not tear each other down. But I have been guilty of firing back. I have been guilty of being defensive whenever you attack me. And that's just generally because there's a few of them. But I think all people would do better remembering that thing that I always say about this. A rising tide raises all boats. Meaning, if my channel is doing great or your Facebook group is doing great, it's better for both of us. It improves things for both of us. If my sales are good and your sales are bad, my sales being good will help your sales. If your sales are good and my sales are bad, your sales being good will help my sales. It helps both of us when one of us succeeds. So let's help each other succeed so we both in turn get help. Do you know what I mean? It's just really hard to get people to understand that. As women, we really struggle with this. Men do not have this problem. They don't. Men are much more straightforward. If something pisses them off, they're going to tell you, and that's that. And nobody gets upset. Nobody holds a grudge for months. Women do. I'm a woman. I can say this. I'm just saying men have it so much easier. Let's go ahead and move on to these things. I do want to put flowers on the outside of these, which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to use these. These aren't super flowery. I'm okay with this one. This one kind of looks like a weed to me. It's not very pretty. So let's find a prettier flower for that one. And I'm not going to use this red one. So I only have one flower. But I want to put people on the tags that go in those pockets. I'm telling you all right now, every single one watching, because the enemies that I have, they watch my channel. Why do they watch my channel? Because either they like me, they miss me, or they want to be me, or I don't know what. And I'm not trying to be conceited about it. But if I'm so terrible, why do you continue to watch my channel? Is my point with it. But you're all are out there right now. You're going to watch this, or you'll watch my sale on Tuesday, and I'll say it again. I offer every single one of you, and it's not that many people. I offer all of you an olive branch. Just stop, be kind, accept the olive branch, and let's both move forward. That is my only true wish. I'll offer you the olive branch and let's just move forward. Yes, Misty. Yes. That's my point. But women have a hard time with this. Men don't. Like, try talking to your husband or significant other or even your son, like I do in my case. And he's like, why is this even an issue? Men would not even have an issue. And I'm like, I know, but women are different. He's like, why do you even talk to this person? Just ban them. And I'm like, well, I try to be nice. And he's like, no, just ban them and move on. Men would ban them. I don't know. Men are a little more, cut and dry kind of. They just, they're just different. But I do like getting the male perspective on things. And so right now my son is my male perspective on things. So he'll tell me, and he'll tell me how it is. I actually am going to put this whole flower with the actual little Latin name of the flower, which is why sometimes I leave the Latin name on my little fussy cut, because I think it's nice to leave it on sometimes. And on this little tall pocket, it's going to work perfect. So there's that one. That's all decorated on the outside. We'll put a tag, and somewhere I do have a tag made right here. So this little lady is going to go in this pocket, which is why I didn't put a lady. So now she peeks out. And this is going to glue to a page. Now we do need to finish the back off, but that's kind of the point with these. I'm totally fine with sharing. I want to share. Let's do stuff together. Let's do stuff together. Let's put the past behind us and do stuff together. Totally good with it. I'm going to cut out 2 flowers. There's that. So this is the Florilegium book. I have shown you guys this every time I've pulled it out. This is how you spell it. This is the cover. It's on Amazon. It is my favorite botanical floral book. I am going to give you guys folios of this in your botanical journal for March. If you got the kit for March, you get a folio of one of these pages in the kit. But if you want to get the book, I use this book in every journal I make pretty much. I just love it. This is a beautiful page. I can get both of these flowers and use them, so that's why I pulled them out. But this book is so beautiful. It's a big fat book of botanicals. Thank you, Sherry. Now we're going to get into like the news, right? So there's a whole lot of like, and I don't get political. Don't talk about political stuff. I'm not going to talk about political stuff. There's a whole reason why, and we're just not going to do it. But I will tell you, as you guys are aware, if you are on any type of social media, a lot of people are, happy with things, and a lot of people are unhappy with things. And it's kind of like you can't get on social media without seeing some kind of like freak out or bad post, or I'm just so tired of seeing all of it. Really, I don't really care what side. I'm just so tired of seeing all of it. And so it's just like at some point we do have to like just, I don't know, I have to either limit my time on social media so that I don't see so much stuff all the time or whatever. And again, I'm not telling you what side I'm on. I don't want to hear what side you're on. It doesn't matter to me. I don't choose sides really. Like I'm just not that kind of person. But I just am getting kind of like tired of seeing all the freakouts all the time. Like, isn't it sad that like we can't do things we used to enjoy doing because there's just so much freaking out all the time? And it's like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't freak out or whatever. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about things. I'm just saying some people take it to such an extreme level, and like every time you open up Facebook, you have another post from somebody that you generally don't even really know, but they're saying that, like whatever, unfriend me, whatever, and they're just ranting about whatever. I don't care. It's one side or the other. It's both sides I see. My point with bringing it up is I'm just so tired of seeing it, and people argue and fight, and it's like, I know it's politics and people do like to argue about them, but people are losing friends and family members, and like they don't talk to their family anymore because of how they feel, and like it's just really sad, and I'm just tired of it. I wish we did not live in such a rough time with all of that right now. So I'm going to have to lose some flowers because this flower is just really, really full. I'm going to cut off these leaves right here. Got to do some editing. I know you guys are sick of seeing it too. We're just all bombarded with it so much. Oh my gosh. Men are so much easier to deal with. I think they deal with issues a lot better than we do, in all honesty. Like, I don't like to give men much props or credit. I do think they deal with drama better than we do. They kind of just like have a way of making a joke or whatever, and then they're done and they move on. I don't know. It's just really different. I think I'm going to do them like this. This is a darker blue, and so I think I'm going to do them like that. Am I good with my cutting on that? I really just rough cut around it and then edited it. Edited? Yeah, that's what I just said. See what I mean though? Like, people aren't talking to family and people are losing best friends, and like, I don't know how we're going to get back to normal, but I don't know. It's just crazy times. Just crazy times. Let's do these. But I really, like, I was never on social media very much for personal reasons before, like, but now I have to use it. I have to open it. I have to respond to people's, questions or comments or whatever. I have a Facebook group. Like, I can't just avoid it because it's just everywhere. So it's hard because I don't want to go on Facebook and just try to even get into my own group and stuff. And before you can get there, you're just seeing such terrible things. Yay, we used up one of my open glue sticks. Ooh, this one is white. I don't know. Sometimes you get a blue one and it's turned white. Apparently it works really nice when it's like that, because this one isn't blue, even though it is blue. I don't know. I'm hoping things will calm down eventually and everyone will love each other again. I'm going to let this flower hang over the window a little bit there. Just wrap that around a little bit. We'll see if it stays. Okay, there's that one. Let's do this one. I inked it good. Yes, CB. Yes, CB. What's happening? Trying to get my attention? What's happening? Crafting is our happy place, right? We're supposed to be in our happy place. What's up, CB? What did I miss? Did I say something bad? I try not to offend people, but sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. You guys have seen me. I put my foot in my mouth a lot. In my defense, I do have a pretty scattered brain sometimes, most of the time. And I put my foot in my mouth. Did I put my foot in my mouth, CB? Don't let anyone take your peace. I know I'm trying to limit my exposure to stuff because it just ends up making me angry. It doesn't make me have a good day. So here's two more. I don't have cards. I don't have tags made for them. We could work on some tags, but I want to do tags next week. Next week, I hope to have all of my pockets glued into my journal. So we have a little bit of time left, but next week I hope to have all my pockets glued into my journal. I will flip through and show you all of my pockets because I had a lot made and we made a lot more. So I'll flip through and show you all of my pockets where I glued them in because I don't want to sit here and glue in pockets because honestly that's kind of boring. But I will show you where I glued them all in. I mean, it's boring for you guys to sit here and watch me glue in pockets. So I'll show you where I glued them all in, and then we will fill the pockets because I have a ton of ephemera made. So we will fill pockets together, and then I want to decorate my cover next week. And then from there, I have just little embellishments already made. I think we can finish this journal because it's supposed to be finished next week. So if it is not finished on the Friday next week, let me look at the calendar. If it is not finished on the 28th, I will be doing a live the Saturday the 1st to finish it up. I do expect it to be finished on the 28th. But during the 28th live, because the Friday the 28th is the last Friday of the month of February, if it is not finished up on the 28th, I will tell you guys during that Friday live, and then we will do a Saturday. I'm totally fine with doing a Saturday if we need to finish up a project. So we made some of those pockets. Let me see what else is in this bin. Yeah, Edith Holden books, those are coming in your botanical kit. Edith Holden are definitely good botanical books. They're just a little different style, like hers are watercolor paintings, a little different style than the ones I'm doing right now. So I have some clusters made up, and I think I might use those just as little tucks. Put them on like the side of a page. I have to look and see how they fit into the journal. What else is in here that we need to do? We could make some ledger page pockets quick. I'm going to glue those down. So this is my basket of pockets and things to go on my pages for my 3 journals. I want to put stamps on those ones, and I would like to make 3 more or 2 more of these because I love this little pocket. It's super cute. I don't know if you guys can see the white doily on it, but there's white doily. It's super cute. So I already have quite a few pockets in those, and I've got my big corner pockets and like this big cluster right here. This could definitely go on a piece of cardstock to kind of sturdy it up, and it could be a pocket or a tuck. So I have decorating bits. We have these that I wanted to decorate. These little guys. They need some blue flowers, I think. And I have some bird pockets. So I think I have a really good start on pockets. And I still have all of these, which I could at a moment's notice turn into journal cards or pockets. Those are from the masterboard. Let's make some ledger page pockets. I feel like that would be a good use of our time. So for ledger pages, let me grab some blue ledger pages. A chair stuck. There we go. Also, we have these. Where are those printed pages? So everyone got the prints of the envelopes. So in your kit for for February, you got fronts and backs of envelopes. Somewhere I hope I have some fronts. I do. Okay. So here's some fronts. I don't think I'm going to want the backs, but I am going to make some pockets out of these. So let's make some ledger page pockets and those pockets. Let's use this ledger. We haven't used this one. It is also blue, but it is different. So if I look at that journal, which is right here, if I look at the journal, and you guys see how like the blue color shifts and changes so much. I love this fabric. In person, I can get this fabric to look very, very, let me see if I can do it on camera, very close to this blue paper. It looks very close to it in person. Okay. So that's kind of the reason why I chose this fabric. Let me see if I will have a place, because I have a lot of blue in here. I might be better off using a plain ledger instead of a blue ledger. Like right here, on the bottom of either one of these, I could do one of these envelope pockets. So on the bottom of either page like that, I could put one of these blue envelopes right down there as a pocket. So I do have a place for envelope pockets. What about ledger pockets? So now I'm trying to look and see, am I getting too much blue in here? Would I be better off with a plain ledger pocket? I love this page. This is Paper Cameo. I love that scanned blue lace. It's so beautiful. So we definitely, I mean, there could be writing space here, but it's kind of plain. We could do blue or we could do neutral. It doesn't really matter. There is a lot of blue in here, but there's a lot of neutral too. So I don't really think that part of it matters. Okay. Well, thank you, Valerie. That's super kind of you. No, you probably won't find Edith Holden at thrift stores anymore. The thrift stores have a list of books that they take when they get donations, they sort through the stuff. And the Edith Holden books, they have a buyer for. So all of the Edith Holden books that get donated to your thrift stores, they're being put in a pile, and those are being sold to Thrift Books and other places like that, as well as Goodwill has their own auction website where they list books and things like that too. And some of it's auction and some of it you can just buy now. I haven't been on there for forever, so I don't know exactly how it works anymore. But most thrift stores sift through their things and pull out the better things. And those Edith Holden books, what they do is they scan the barcode on the back of the book. So Goodwill will have a tool that will scan this barcode, and it will tell Goodwill how much this book is worth. And if it's worth over a certain dollar amount, Goodwill puts it in a bin, and they auction off the whole entire bin to book resellers. So you probably won't find Edith Holden unless somebody doesn't scan it, or it's a smaller neighborhood thrift store and they don't scan and resell that way. But Edith Holden books can be found anywhere from, sometimes they're $10 or $15 and sometimes they're $50 or $60. A lot of it has to do with the printing of the book. There's different print versions. The 1977 American one is usually around, like I said, 15 to 20 and then up to 40, even 60 sometimes. But it just depends on the printing. If you get one in a different language, it's always much more expensive than the English one. Book recommendations for birds. Any type of field guide for birds will have good images. But no, I don't really have. I would prefer to buy a digital on Etsy that I can print out 100 times, because with the bird books, it's hard to find the right size and the right position and all that kind of stuff. So I would prefer to buy digital and then print out my birds. And that way I can have them forever. I'm trying to find some cardstock to glue this to so I can use it for pockets. And more blue. I may end up with too much blue. It's okay though, because anything I do, if I don't end up using it in this journal, it is all antique and I will use it again later. Thank you guys. You guys are the sweetest people ever. The most kind, sweetest people ever. And on that note, you guys, we made it to past day 50. Day 50 in the 365 series. And my channel has grown quite a bit since I started that. You guys leave me such wonderful comments every morning, all day long, actually, when you guys watch the videos. And I just want to say thank you. You guys are amazing. I could not and would not have done anything that I've done without your guys' support. So you guys support me in a number of ways, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for helping me get to day 50 in that series. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. The channel has grown leaps and bounds, and I'm so appreciative. We're about ready to hit a pretty huge milestone, if you guys have been paying attention. We're about ready to hit 10,000, which is pretty huge milestone. And so I just want to say thank you. And if you're not subscribed, anything you can do to help us get to that milestone. I do want to do a giveaway. I wanted to do a giveaway as we were going there, but it was going so fast. Like if I said I was going to do a 5,000 subscriber giveaway, it was over in a couple of weeks. So we just been growing, which is great. And it's super nice to meet all the new people. And, our little friend community here is growing and growing and growing. And we get new people and new faces, and that's wonderful. I just want to make sure everybody, feels appreciated and knows how much I appreciate you. I do want to do a giveaway for 10,000, and I want it to be something kind of, a good giveaway because it's 10,000 subscribers. That's pretty good milestone. When I started the year, I'll be completely honest with you guys. When I started the year, and doing the 365 videos, like I said many times, I did not anticipate it doing what it did. I honestly don't know why it does what it does, but YouTube algorithms are what they are. And so I don't know. I can't figure it out. But aside from that, my goal for the year of growing my channel in all transparency was to 20,000. And I think we're going to hit that goal. So I think we're going to hit it sooner than I thought we were going to hit it, which will be wonderful. It's a learning curve for me to figure out how to manage all of that. And I'm not going to sit here and say I've done it perfectly because I have not. I have not managed it all perfectly. It's a struggle to keep up with everything. But I'm learning as I go. And you guys are super kind. You guys are super kind and patient with me. And you guys know I fall behind on tasks, especially with live sale and stuff. It's just hard to keep up with that too. But you guys have just been amazing and supportive, and you leave me such kind comments. And I love seeing that you guys are making the projects from the 365 series. I love that you guys, whether you make it or you save the idea for later or whatever, I love seeing that, people actually, first of all, people actually like journals, making journals, and that makes me happy. Making journals brings me so much joy. And so when I find out from somebody else that, they sat down and they made something and they enjoyed it, brightens my day, makes me happy. So I don't know. I love sharing junk journals. I didn't invent junk journals. I don't know who did invent junk journals, but I'm very happy that we all found it and that we all can share this hobby together. And this one is too big for a pocket. I can see it's over 5 inches, but I'm going to keep cutting it out because I glued it down. It'll just be a journal card. But anyway, it's a very wonderful thing that we can all share, and it should bring us all joy. And I don't invent all of my 365 ideas. Some of them I do, but just because I do it and I just think of it doesn't mean somebody else didn't already do it and think of it. As far as I know, probably somebody thought of everything. So there's lots of people who do videos, and I don't watch every video. So if somebody else did something, kudos to them, because you know, my brain just comes up with what it comes up with, and your brain comes up with what it comes up with. But I will say some of the videos, I do get ideas from just things I saw over the years. Like, I don't even know where it came from. I mean, I did watch Gail a lot. In the beginning, I watched Gail a lot. So probably, definitely some ideas came from Gail. But where did Gail get the ideas? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But that's the thing, is we all watch each other and we all grow, and we grow the things that we know how to make. And then you guys will make videos on your channels, and you guys will show that you know how to make whatever, X, Y, and Z. And we just keep spreading the joy around and sharing it. It's really, really a good thing. Sometimes I just sit here and fold paper, and you guys have seen me do it before, and I'm like, well, what happens if we fold it this way and fold it this way? I really enjoy that process. I think that is super fun when we can just sit down and just play with paper and fold it and see what you get, right? So those can be pockets. This one, like I said, it will fit on there, but it's really, really wide. This one too. That one might be doable. This one is better sized width-wise, but it's a shorter pocket. Honestly, all of them will fit. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save the fattest two for journal cards. I glued them. I just glued the whole sheet that you guys got in your kit to some ivory cardstock. So it's just glued to ivory cardstock. It will straighten out here in a minute, but I'm gonna save those two for journal cards, and I'm gonna use these three for pockets. Oh, the scissors. It's a 3-pack of scissors at Costco. They're Scotch titanium coated blades. They are my favorite scissors just for everyday use. Now, if I was sitting down and I was using scissors for a long time, I would probably choose the kind that have the spring in them, the recoil scissors. I need to line this up better. The recoil scissors, just so my hands didn't get tired, but crafting for a couple of hours, you know, you're taking breaks, you're gluing, you're whatever, those scissors. How did you guys like the scissors? I think they're great. I have a pair of those scissors now in every drawer of my house that I would keep scissors in. Sometimes at Costco they go on sale. I just missed them last time I got them. They were on sale when I saw them, and then I was like, oh, okay, should have picked some of those up to share with everyone. And then I went back to get them, and they were regular price, which I think regular is $9.99 for 3, so $10 for 3. And then when they're on sale at Christmas time, they're $6.99 for 3 pairs of scissors. So they're very inexpensive, but I think they're great scissors. So I might add a focal point or something to these, or I could just use them as they are. Probably I want to add a little washi tape or paper cluster, just a little paper collage down on them, down on the bottom of them. We probably have enough scraps. I could probably just make a paper collage right now on the bottom. I do plan on putting a French letter in each one of the journals as ephemera. I don't think I have enough blue ones anymore, but I do have ivory ones. So there's those 3. I do have special scissors that I only use for lace and fabric. So there's what those 3 look like. They're original scans of the blue letter fronts. And I just made the little pockets with them. Let's see what we can do for like a little paper cluster. So I have a bunch of small pieces of scraps of paper in this pile. The problem is finding it. Okay. Here's a little bit of that. Here's a little bit of music. I just want tiny scraps. Now, if I was crafting in my craft room, I would organize all my scraps into their different sized bins, but in this room, I don't have room for my bins to organize some scraps in. So everything just gets thrown in a pile, and then from there, it's really hard to find what you need. I'm always digging in here. Even just regular plain rag paper, like the end of a rag paper. Here's a bunch of little scraps. Little scraps. There's a different scrap of music. It's kind of a big scrap, but actually I know where this came from and I want to make another one, so I'm going to leave that over there. And here's scraps. Okay. Scraps, scraps, and scraps. So what I'm talking about doing is a tiny, tiny little paper cluster, just to kind of decorate these. So if you look at your scraps, you want to think about washi tape. You want to think about how you would tear just a little section of washi tape. So I'm going to make my little scraps about the thickness and size of washi tape. And I'm just going to start layering some on. I'm going to do these 3 pockets. You hide your fabric scissors. I don't really have to do that here, but if I lived with other people, I probably would. This is a little bit of dictionary. And I'm aiming for no straight edges. That could go on that one. I like this paper. If you have washi tape, you could certainly use washi tape. It's a little big. Let me see. I don't want embossed paper. Here's a little piece of music paper. Be ever so careful tearing these tiny little pieces. There's not really anything left on that one. That's too small. Here is the tiniest scrap of Florentine paper, but it was too beautiful and I couldn't throw it away. So maybe we could have some Florentine paper on there. I've got to tear this edge the other direction. This has such beautiful handwriting. It's really hard to like cover any of it up. I don't know if I can on that one. That one's got something down there on the bottom. I think it's going to go on this one. I might make it smaller, but maybe it can go on there. Here's a little piece that has a little bit of handwriting. So if I do cover up some handwriting on the envelope, maybe I can just add it back in with one of these. The only way I'll leave a straight edge is if it was original. Okay, let's see what else we have in our little, this is a gluey scrap. Here's some music for this one. So these two can kind of layer somewhere. I have music for this last one up here at the top. So I want some text, some handwriting, some music, maybe some Florentine if that's what we've got. And now I just need to arrange these in some way that makes me happy. Just a tiny little paper cluster. And I'm trying to make it as small as I can make it while still seeing all 3 layers. I want to see that there is some dictionary back here and that there is some Florentine paper and that there is some music paper. And then eventually I'm going to glue this down right here. I'm pretty happy with the 3 of those. This is a thick one. It's from where I just glued those pockets together. We need a little bit of text, and this is a good color of text for this one. It feels like it's 2 pages, but I guess it isn't. So let's do one of these. I probably just tore that too thin. So tiny little paper clusters. And when you're happy with it, that's when you glue. So I'm going to be happy with this one. Let's see. The handwriting might have to go in the back. Or I might just cover that up. Let's cover that up. Playing. Happy, but it's a little too big. So that one she's edited. This one I need one more layer on. And maybe I can get another one right here. So these are like your smallest scraps. Small, tiny little scrap. Perfect. Okay, so I'm happy with him. I don't need any more scraps. We've done 3 little clusters. They don't have focal points, but again, I don't really care about them. I don't care that they don't have focal points. Good night, Misty. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. I'll see you again soon. I'm just going to use a little art glitter to hold while I figure out exactly what I want to do here. Not that it's going to move once you put art glitter down, but I might just put something, I don't know, like a little label or a little image right here. I was going to do a stamp, but these are letters and they have stamps. So I'm good with that one. It's not really covering up too much on that. I'm covering up this beautiful C right here, but it doesn't really go anywhere else. So I'm going to do it here and cover up that C. So that's that one. I did not ink my cluster at all. I just left it as it is. And I didn't glue everything down flat yet either. So for this guy, we're going to go just like that. I kind of moved it as I went. We're good. Now you could glue stick all of these down. That would be fine too. It's a little too tall. I'm going to tear a little music off. There we go. They say, there we go. Let's rough this up a little. Happier. Most people would have thrown this away. It's just tiny, tiny little bits. So your goal is to just see each layer. That's really all you're worried about. So it's just a tiny little paper decoration. And then from there, you can edit down the sides, you know, if you need them a little smaller. This one is kind of large, but again, this is the envelope that's very small. It's very narrow. And I could maybe put this one on here because it is more linear and narrow. And maybe this one could go here. It's okay. I don't like the point of that. And I don't like the super long of this. Better. Okay, so I have a little bit left to play with, but pretty much this is trash over here. Pretty much that's trash. You could still make a few more little paper clusters, probably. Ooh, paper drying outside. Hopefully it wasn't windy. If it was windy where you are, I'm sorry. I have left paper outside before. Okay, so from here, I am going to use glue stick and stick these down on my little envelopes. And so now that they're a cluster, I'm just going to glue stick whatever is sticking on the back. And the fact that they will have some loose little paper bits on the front, if that happens, that's okay. Totally okay. Just a little too tall there and a little off the side. I'm good with that one. That's good. So I have 3 layers in each one of these. Music is a part of each one. And then I've got one that has the Florentine paper. Trying to position this one. One that has Florentine paper, and then all of them have text. And I don't care if they're off the bottom of the envelope a little bit. In my opinion, that's a little bit better. I'm going to slide this one down a little bit. If it will go, there it goes. Yes, better hanging off the edge. This guy's just a little too flopping in the wind. He'll probably get ripped off. So I'll just put a little glue there. Everybody else is pretty good. Okay. Now from here we could add something else to them. I don't know what yet, so I'm going to leave them until they're on the page. So there's 3, 1 for each journal. Ended up with that. Just little paper clusters. They will stop curling here in a little bit. So there was 3 easy pockets. We got a whole lot of blue going on. And 2 journal cards. The CD, yes, I did. I sewed it in the signature. The CD envelope is right here. Let me show you. Right here. So this is the journal, and I sewed it like this. And then you can snip off with scissors just the tiniest little snip across this edge if you want your journal card to go in from this side. But I'm going to snip off the top because I have all this open space up here and I want something to stick out the top of it. There will be a picture on my tag or my journal card, whatever you're putting in your pocket, that you'll be able to see through the plastic. And then I'm going to make mine stick up just a little bit so that I can kind of have 3 layers looking on this page. You'll see me do it. I'll do this next time because this time was pockets, next time is tags and journal cards. So I will have all of my pockets in, and I actually have one of these decorated. There's one right here that has its card. So this is a CD envelope that is decorated where it's got all the decoration on the bottom because I didn't look and see where I was making my decoration. So it's all shell with bottom, which is why this one isn't sewn in the signature probably. But this is the journal card that would go in the pocket. So just imagine, I have to check, does it actually go in there? Imagine this goes down in your pocket. Does it go in there? Yes, it does. So it goes down in the pocket in your journal like this. So you can see an image through the window of it. And I'm just going to decorate mine with a little cluster down at the bottom, but mine's sewn in already. So I will use this journal card, but Unfortunately, when I made this one, I left my flap at the bottom. It's not really a problem. I'm just going to glue it up and snip off the top. But I can't sew it in a signature now. Do you see what I mean? This has to go down on a page, or I have to make a paper hinge. Thank you guys for showing Susan some love, her channel some love. I really appreciate that. Okay. We are 3 hours and 10 minutes. There was something else I was going to do, and now I don't know what it was. It was something. I have some of this piano roll sitting here, and I have these sitting here. Oh, I grabbed the ledger page, the blue ledger page, because I was going to make some blue ledger page pockets. I think I want to make regular tan paper leather, oh my gosh, regular colored ledger pages, like plain paper colored ledger page pockets. So I'm going to save that blue for decorating or something else, but let's put some of this music piano roll paper on some pockets. I don't know whether they'll go in this journal or not, but let's do that. We have them. These are all dry, by the way. I have that for decorating. And these were the 2 book pages we glued together in the beginning. I'm going to try cutting them now that they're really dry and see if I can smoothly cut them with this guy. My page width is too long, so I'm going to need to 3.5 inch it. Unless I want to do, is it 5? It is 5. Okay. Well, it's 5 wide, so I'm going to go 3.5 tall. All my pockets are 5 by 3.5 at this point. It does not want to cut. It really just chews up my paper. So, thanks for giving me a cut line, but that's all you did. And now I got to have a little bit narrower of a pocket because it's chewed at the bottom. And it's not straight either. But I guess we're going to get 2 pockets out of this. Somehow we're going to get 2 pockets out of this. I'm just going to estimate this one. Okay. Did that. Need to clean my cutter. Goodness, and it just fell apart. Need to clean my cutter. Actually, I'm just going to bring the rotary one in here because I'm done fighting with that one because I have cleaned it. But anyway, I'm just going to bring the rotary cutter in here. These are my 2 pockets. Got a tall and a small. If I use one of these for size, a tall one is better. Okay, so let's put some piano paper on here as a background. Piano paper is kind of hard to work with. It can get unruly very easily. First of all, it's old, it's thin, it's brittle. It doesn't generally uncurl very well. Even if you iron it, it just is kind of hard to play with. But I've got it, it's here, and we're going to put some down. You're just going to get what you get of it and not throw a fit. Oh yeah, she mentioned me when I started doing the 365. But I just thought it was nice because she's out there and she's doing a whole segment on what's happening in our community. That's appropriate. In our about junk journals. So in our little junk journal world, I was trying to save that blue, but I'm not going to. She lists pretty much everything that's going on, which, it's really helpful to know who's doing what. I don't remember all the topics that were covered, but I do know that she had a section for if people had design team calls, and I believe there were several other sections, like people that are doing monthly projects, people that are doing yearly projects, people that are doing, I don't know, a special event or a giveaway maybe. She's here, she'll tell you. This one I can keep some blue. Just going to randomly stick this on here. I'm going to glue it, and whatever sticks, sticks. And whatever doesn't, it's going to fall off. And I'm going to be good with it. I just thought it was really nice. Plus, she has a really nice voice, guys. She has a really nice voice. You will like listening to her. It's very professional. She has nice graphics. I was actually kind of like, this sounds like she could be an actual TV reporter. It does. I'll save that piece. Okay. I'm like, didn't I already glue it on there? I did on the other side. So we have two that are like this. Fourth grade math teacher. We have a very nice voice. Shop shout outs or channel shout outs. Oh, channel shout outs. And announcements, collabs, challenges, series, shop shout. She does. Okay, cool. She does everything. I like the texture it provides. We have another page. I don't know. I think I'm just going to do these two this way. We'll save those for something else. And we'll save these little bits for something. But now we have this blank canvas to play with. This has been floating around and we have so much blue, but it's kind of perfect. And it's kind of wanting to fall apart right there, so I'm just going to help it. And then from there, let's put it on this side, and this one's going to hurt me to tear. I love this blue ledger so much. It has beautiful, beautiful handwriting. That can go right there. Yes, it can. And, okay, that'll work for me for that one. My fingers are so sticky again. Somebody was saying that they only use Fabri-Tac for everything. And I don't see how you could only use Fabri-Tac for everything. I don't see how that would work. I don't know how I could get all of this stuck down with just Fabri-Tac. Wouldn't parts of it always be lifting up? I don't know. We have this section here. There is this plain edge, which I could save for something. My stuff doesn't go in the same journal, so it will be fine that these are built the same way because they will go in different journals. And there's that one. I like to add a little bit there because this blue paper is kind of thin. And I don't know if it will hold up to me adding tons and tons of glue. So there's that one. Okay. Well, we have bases for this too. These aren't super thin. They need to be backed on something, or super thick. They need to be backed on something. I just sat here all night long and made plain regular pockets. And you know why? It's because after making the 365, it's, I don't know. My brain is just like, well, you already did a million flip outs. Well, you already did this. Well, you already did that. It's kind of hard. It makes crafting a little bit hard because it's not the normal flow of making. Oh no. Oh no. I tore my pocket. It'll still be okay. But it's not the normal flow of making things for me. It's different. Because you're just making ephemera mostly, you know? Maybe I need to actually make a whole journal. Liquid nails? Awesome. Yeah, I don't know how you would use it for all of the thin papers. I was trying to understand that. Like her point was is that she doesn't use glue stick at all ever. And I just didn't understand how that would work. Because if there is a way to avoid using glue stick, it's really helpful. It is a good tool for what we do, but it is kind of messy. I would love to just, put art glitter glue on everything because you don't have to touch it, right? You're never touching it. But I just don't see how the other glue would work for everything. I don't know. To each their own, but I was just wondering, is there a trick out there to like using 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac for every single thing? Or are they the kind of journal makers that they're okay with the paper hanging up? You know how like Ruby and Pearl, Heather at Ruby and Pearl, she I think uses Fabri-Tac, doesn't she, for everything? I don't think I've seen her use a glue stick, but I think maybe it's the style where your paper is a little bit kind of loose so that they can crinkle up the edges and all of that kind of stuff. I think it might be just a different style where all of my stuff is glued down. Occasionally I leave loose paper, for a visual effect or texture or something like that. So maybe that's what she was saying. I don't know. I don't like art, or I don't like Fabri-Tac that much anyway. So it would not be my glue of choice either. It just, all of those ones are just too sticky. I like art glitter because it has that tiny little fine point and you don't touch anything. You didn't touch anything. So I just backed it to another thick paper that's just scrap regular black and white book page that's new. Matte medium. See, that's another thing. You could use a brush and do that collage medium, matte medium, whatever. Yeah, definitely. These are great pocket bases, but I think they need birds. We don't have that many with birds, but I think these need birds. I don't know if I have any birds on hand, but I do have these labels. I don't like the big black border. I could cut that down though. Even this would be okay on there. There's this. Let me try this one. I'm going to try trimming off a lot of this black. I think the big bold black border helps the scan and cut out your ephemera. I've noticed on my scan and cut, if I print things and add a big black border in Photoshop, it will cut them out. I like that. But there is only one of those. So now I'm going to have to do this one. Or, and I should have done this the first time. Let's back up. Like that would be okay, but let's back up and cut out these pictures. Because I only wanted to print these so that I could snip them. Because I can use the tag pieces as little labels, little pieces of ephemera, whatever. I'm not going to waste the rest of the tag. I will use it, just not in the intended method. Oh my gosh, I cannot cut straight to save my life right now. It's still crooked. Oh my. It's late at night. I don't know. I had too much coffee today, I can tell you that much. Goodness. It's like when your mom gave you a haircut as a kid and she just kept cutting and cutting and cutting. That's where we're at right now. We're just going to leave it and ink around it. I like those little pictures though. So I'm going to cut out this other little picture that's here. What's happening? You guys found another favorite glue? Nouveau glue? I have Nouveau glue. I have not opened it up and used it. But I do have it and I was going to give it a try. Tonic sent me some things. The Tim Holtz cutter and some other things. Just going to trim this little bit of black right there. So I like this. I like the shape of it, but it's a little small. So let's trim off this one a little bit more and we'll use it. And you know what I think would look really good on here is some of our vintage aged tape. So there's that one. There's that one. We'll save this one for something else. I'll save this little, that little piece. This can go in the trash. And of course I didn't bring the vintage aged tape in here. That was my first video I ever did for the 365 series. So if you made the vintage, the faux aged tape, I think it would look great to hang this little picture with. Uh-oh. I never had that happen in my family. Nobody ever cut anybody's hair that I was aware of. But I did have my mother try to give me a haircut one time. And I always had really long hair as a little girl. Always had nice, beautiful long hair. I don't have very many great features, but I do have very beautiful hair that I'm thankful for. But it's nice and full. It's always been good to me. But my mother, who decided that I needed a haircut one day after school, and she was not the type of person who is crafty or handy or does things like that herself. She does not give herself a haircut. She didn't give anyone else a haircut. I don't know why it occurred to her this day that she was going to give me a haircut, but she did. So after school, she said she's going to give me a haircut. And I remember being happy and excited that my mother was going to give me a haircut. That was, you know, whatever, you're getting a haircut. And so it was cool. And I was excited. And I remember sitting up on some books in a dining room chair. And she was cutting my hair. And my father had came home from work. And he was not happy. And I thought that he was mad at me or something. And turns out, you know, he was unhappy with my mother cutting my hair. And they went in the other room and was having a discussion. I'm just going to say a discussion. I guess they thought you couldn't hear. I don't know. But anyway, they were beginning an argument. And my dad was like, what are you doing to her? Like, why are you cutting her hair? Like, you don't know how to cut hair. Like, why are you cutting her hair? And my mother's response was that she had seen a another neighborhood girl, or somebody's mom had said something about cutting their kids' hair, and so she wanted to cut my hair, and so I ended up getting the worst haircut of my life. I went from having, like, I don't know how, I would think it was 10 or 11, and I had really long hair that was probably at least, nearing down to my waist. And I didn't know how much hair she had cut off because I wasn't paying attention. I was a kid, whatever. But by the time my dad came home, my hair was already above my chin. Like, lengthwise, it was cut to above my chin. And my dad was just like, no, I'm taking her right now to the beauty parlor. She's getting her hair, because it wasn't even either. And so he took me there. And when I sat in the beauty parlor chair was the first time I saw how short my hair was. And it was, to my knowledge, supposed to just be like a haircut, a trim. Like, I had always just gotten a trim when I went to get my hair cut. And when I saw myself in the beauty parlor mirror, I started crying. And I was trying not to cry because I was in public and I was a kid. And my dad was so nice and, like, came over and was like, "It's okay. It's okay. They're going to make you beautiful. It's okay." It was just like the worst experience ever. And it was before picture day. Dang it. It was. But they did my hair, and I, of course, was mortified and hated it, even though, they did the best that they could. But my mother had just chopped it off so bad that there just was no saving anything. They gave it some curl and evened it out, and luckily my hair grows fast. And so by the time school year came around, the next time I had long hair again, or longer hair anyway. But yeah, that was my haircut experience from my mother. Let's do these cute little pictures on here, but I think maybe we need maybe something else. I'm going to cut them into pocket shape, meaning I'm going to thumb hole notch them. I hope you guys have better experience stories. Probably not, because I think all moms probably attempted that at some point. I never did, but probably all moms during that time frame attempted to cut their own kids' hair. And I don't know, was there some kind of thing on one of the shows moms watched at that time where they were like, "Oh yeah, cut your own kid's hair"? I don't know. But it seems like they all did it. I don't know why moms think things like that. Like, the only hair I ever cut was my son's, and it was because I used to cut my husband's hair also. But they were, my son was 4 or something. It was 4 or younger. But yeah, so I used to cut both of their hair. And by cutting, I just mean clippering. Both of their hair. Because that's all that his dad, wanted done. And so that was easy enough to do. And then, my son, he was 3 or 4. You know, I was divorced by the time he was 5. So in between that time frame. But anyway, that was the only hair I ever cut, and you couldn't mess up a clipper thing. I don't think you could, but they have guards. So as long as you were using the right number guard, you were good. Yeah, that was it. So I think they're going to look better inked around. I think this tall picture goes here and this smaller picture. Or maybe I had it reversed before. I don't know. Goodness, it was a terrible haircut. I never forgave my mother for that. Literally never. Not that we ever talked about it, but I never forgave her for it. I just like this one on this pocket. I don't know. Anyway, they're going there, but I think we need, like, Tim Holtz number or some little label. Some kind of something here. We have these little numbers or labels or something. This one has an address. Mm, well, I think this is going to be our last little project. I will be here Tuesday. Like I said, I don't know doing what, but doing something on Tuesday. I'll at least be here and selling some kind of something, I'm sure, but I don't know what yet. I need to get my current work done. So if you had a question about an invoice, I will be finishing researching those after I end this live and eat dinner. So at some point tonight, I should have an answer for the couple of you that were waiting on the question about an invoice. I know there's a better label in here, but I don't know where. We'll use those ones. So if you had a question about an invoice, you'll have an answer in your email in the morning or messenger, however you reached out to me. I will put your answer in there for you. I think it's great that people can do it if they have the skill to do it. If they have the skill to do it. Do I want a piece of lace back here? Are these a little too, like, I still think that I might want another layer back there. They're almost just a little too, I don't know, they're not fancy enough. Do I want a piece of lace or should I just add lace at the bottom? Will that cutesy it up? Let's glue them. I'll figure it out later. But anyway, one of the numerous things I probably never forgave my mother for. Oh, goodness. I don't know if my dad did either. All he knew is she was never cutting his hair. Oh my gosh. I think, in all honesty, she just kept cutting and cutting it because it was a long time. It was probably several, I don't know, it seemed like several hours. I think she just was trying to make it even and just kept cutting and cutting and cutting. And so when I was doing this little pocket, it kind of reminded me of that, or with this little picture, kind of reminded me of that. And then you guys said it too about trying to even it out and cutting and cutting and cutting. Funny. Well, we finished 2 of my open glue sticks, and I went to buy more glue sticks, and now they're back to 32 again, and I only like to buy them when they're at $26. So it's kind of like playing the stock market, where there's a point that I'm willing to buy them at, and then a point where I'm not willing to buy them at. And at 32, I'm not willing to buy them. I will wait for them to come back to 26 again. Not that it's that big of a deal, but anyway. First haircut and perm. Oh my god. Well, I figured you were good now because both your packages shipped, but Soldier Mom, but there are a couple others that had a question. No, invoices for Tuesday will come out on Monday, hopefully by Monday. Um, a lot of people were confused about that, and I don't know. I haven't rewatched the video. I don't know what happened, but a lot of people were confused about invoicing. Invoicing for live sales, when you buy on Tuesday, it will usually come out the following Monday. So it takes a lot of time to process all of that for 100 people. And it literally takes me from Tuesday all the way through the weekend. That's assuming I can work both days in the weekend. And it usually takes that much time just to get invoicing done. Invoicing, because I also pack and ship at the same time. So by the time you get an invoice, you will also already have been shipped. You will have a tracking number in your email right with your, in a separate email, but it'll be right above or below the invoiced email. And because I pack and ship everyone and everything and invoice, it just takes time. If I would just invoice and then ship later, it'd speed up one half of it, but you'd be waiting for me to ship. And I'd much rather you keep your money while I get all that done, and then by the time you pay me, your stuff is on the way. I don't want to have a situation where you've paid me and you have to wait for me to ship your stuff. So that's why I do it that way. So there's those two. She ratted your hair for 3rd grade? Oh. The camera girl tried to fix it. Well, that was awful nice of them. Oh my gosh. You're a barber and you're listening. I think every girl has a story about their mom's haircut. That's my experience so far. Every girl has a story about that. So what did we make today? We glued together some book pages that I can turn into pockets or tags or journal cards or whatever later. That's fine. We'll just stick those in the pile. We made these 2 pockets. We were focusing on pockets, and I needed just a bunch of regular pockets because I have from the 365 series all the interactive, all the tucks and flips and all that kind of stuff. So I needed a bunch of regular pockets. I'm off camera. We made these pockets. We made 3 of these pockets. We made 3 of these pockets. We made this pocket. We made 2 of these pockets. Can't really see them anymore, but we made 2 of those. And we did these pockets. These are flips. They have a hinge. They're made from an envelope. So we did 3 of those. And I already had this done, and this goes inside. So, you know, it wasn't that bad. It was a lot of me chit-chatting, but we made 3, if I count all 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 pockets. And there's a whole lot of pockets here, and I don't know that I will use every single one of these in the journal, but at least they're done and they're made, and they're very plain and neutral, so I can use them for anything I wish to use them for. I need them to straighten out a little bit, so I will have to put them under something to kind of help keep them flat. Okay, guys. Well, thank you. That's funny, Diana. You know, they got the same kind of, like, you know, they didn't have TikTok or whatever to get ideas from, but they sure did get ideas on how to do certain things, right? How to do our hair, how to cut our hair, how to whatever. So they didn't have social media per se, but they still got some kind of magazine article or something that put ideas in their head. I remember my mom tying my hair up with like little strips of fabric and stuff to curl my hair, but that was only once or twice, and she probably got that out of some magazine or something. I don't know. She didn't really do my hair ever. I pretty much just had long hair. Okay, where's my cameras? I do have cameras somewhere. There's my camera. Okay, so guys, we did it. We did some pockets. I'm gonna glue all these. I have paper on me right here. Sorry, I have paper all over me. Anyway, I'm gonna glue all these pockets in, pick out which pockets I'm gonna put on which page, glue all my pockets in. When you see me next Friday, I will be here at 7 p.m. next Friday. All of my pockets will be glued into all 3 journals, and I will be ready to fill pockets in it. We'll complete at least 1 on camera, and then I will complete the other 2 off camera. So for next time, you want to have all your pockets glued in, and we're going to fill the pockets with what ephemera I have already made. And then if we need to make a tag or a journal card or whatever, we'll make it. I have plenty of undecorated bases and stuff sitting here. I need a haircut right now. I go on Monday. Anyway, filling pockets next time. After we fill the pockets, because most of my ephemera is already made, like I'm saying, if I need to just make something quick, I'll make it. But the point that I want to get to next time is fully done, meaning I need to put everything in the pockets. I need to decorate the front cover of the journal. And if we have time to go past filling all the pockets and decorating the front cover, it would just be those tiny little finishing touches, like adding signature beads or charms or whatever with your signature strings. If you want to make a charm on the part of the journal, the closure of the journal, things like that, little finishing touches for decorating. If you want to go through and add some clusters or rusty safety pins or metal hardware here or there, like, I don't know, paper clips or whatever, you can do that. But we should be done next Friday. If we are not done next Friday, I will do the Saturday morning on the 1st to finish the journal officially. I won't have all 3 done. I can promise you that, because there's not enough pre-made ephemera to finish 3. So I will have to figure out that and find time to make some more ephemera. I've been trying to make 3 of everything for the 365 that I was using in the journals, but I'm going to start tailoring the 365 videos to making botanical ephemera. So you will see me, I think today's video was Stamperia paper. Tomorrow's video is Stamperia paper. After that, Sunday and forward, I will start tailoring the ephemera to making botanical themed ephemera to fit into the next series of journals. The March kit is botanical, so it's a physical journal kit that you could purchase, and it is botanical, which is why I'm going to start moving the ephemera in that direction. But botanical ephemera could be used for any journal, so it'll all be good. Thanks, guys. And I can tell you a little sneak peek. After March, we have April. Either April or May will be very pink in color. Probably May will be very pink in color, but maybe April. It depends. We have pink in our future is all I'm saying. Definitely one of those, because we've been blue and neutral, and we've done botanical, which doesn't really have a lot of pink in it. So now I need some pink in my life. I'm feeling the urge for pink ephemera. All right, guys, I will see you back here Tuesday. I'll be in a video in the morning, but I will see you guys back here on Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you, Susan, for coming and hanging out with us. And thank you, all of you, for hanging out with me all night long. I hope that you guys get some crafty time this weekend. Have a great weekend and enjoy whatever is going on weather-wise in your area, because before long it will change. All right, guys, we'll see you again soon. Bye.